Come on, YouTube. All right, we should be live on YouTube. What up, chat?
Excellent. Just so you know, the dog's already started crying.
Oh no! Oh no!
So if you hear little squeaks in the back, I'll say it in the show too. That's happy. She's a little baby. She's about a little this big. You know?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I can't help it. And we've bonded. Like I'm the alpha in the relationship.
Wow. Okay. That's
She listens to
huge.
me. I know.
I
She
can just
listens to me,
imagine
she-
Joe walking around the house. No, I'm the alpha. I'm the alpha here.
Listen, there's no shame in it. I'll tell you what. My wife is the alpha in the house. The dogs recognize her as the alpha. But that doesn't stop me from getting on all fours, baring my teeth, and growling in their face to try and show my dominance.
God bless.
Because they don't recognize my power when I say, "Hey, stop chewing on that. Hey,
Yeah.
don't pee on that." I have to like turn into a fucking dog. Sorry, a freaking dog.
No, you can curse.
You
It's
can
fine.
cuss.
Okay, I gotta turn into a dog and be like, "No, this you understand this, right? Stop it."
It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I'm teaching, so like my behavioral set actually works decently with actual like doggos. So like I'm teaching my folks how to like ABA the dog of like just how to reward like good behaviors and how to ignore bad ones and all that. And they're not good at this, man. They gotta get better at this part of the job, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Chat, let me know if everyone sounds okay. It feels like we haven't done this in forever. So I just gotta make sure everything's working the way it should.
Same. I'm also getting all this set up.
What up, Stingray, Jose? What's cracking, fellas? Can't wait to hear more about the Platties.
Yes.
Doing a lot of playing to get ready for that. Dewani, hey gang, what up? Hita Silverlight, hey there, hello Hita. And Luke says Asa's here. That's right, Asa is here.
I am here, Luke. Is that Luke Lore?
That is
That's
Luke
right.
Lore.
We're going easy on him. We're going easy on him this week.
Okay.
We talked about it. His so if you don't know, his dog passed away, and in our group chat we give that grief a week and a half until we could bust balls, and so there is a unsteady piece right now.
Hey, let me say something to Luke real quick.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm so sorry. My dog Kiba died last year in the beginning of September, and I might cry, and that's okay. That's just it's the unexpressed love.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel that shit every day.
Same.
Every day. And I'll tell you what, I'll have to ask if anybody wants it who's lost a pet. Sorry, I just said I would cry, and then I'm like, oh, am I gonna do it? But my wife, my partner, she for Christmas or for my birthday, a gift. She got me there's a company that does like life-size replicas. You give them all the specs of your animal who is passed. And so and it's been one of the most healing things. We kept his dog bed, his blanket, and there is a life-size stuffed dog who looks just like him. And I'm every once in a while I'm like, because it's my little altar where I send love to him and I hug him and kiss him, and I put his old collar around it, so I still hear the sounds and the smell. It has been one of the most healing things because I've lost dogs as a kid and cats and stuff, and that is like a pain like no other. Like he was my son. And so getting to have that as a conduit, if anybody ever wants that, hit me up on Twitter or whatever. I'll send you. It's a life changer.
Or you could do what I did and send pain right to your calf and get his paw right on your calf.
You know what? That's what I want to do.
Shit fucking hurt.
I just can't. I have tattoos and I want more tattoos. It's the price that gets me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm oh, do I spend $200 on this tattoo that's this big, or do I just buy like a bunch of games? You know what I mean?
Either way, it's retail therapy. Speaking of, Kyle, I got when we were at North Carolina, I got the tattoo from Kelsey. It was great. And we went to the Lego store and I got the Horizon Lego set that I still haven't even fucking
The
touched.
tall neck. Yep.
Well, Amazon had a Black Friday sale for like $40 off. Guess who's going tomorrow returning that Lego set?
You
Because
are.
I got it from Amazon.
There you go.
Right here.
There you go.
As you
Right
should.
This guy.
Yeah.
This fucking guy right here. Asa, I have the tweet posted out on the Trophy Room podcast.
Okay.
Twitter.
I was waiting.
I am, again, doggo still barking. It's fine. Again, she's a little pup. She's got little arms, little legs, you know? But yeah, no, like real talk, when I heard the news, because like, you know, again, jokefully, how we grieve and how we deal with serious topics, Luke and I, we burst balls and we just say really fucked up jokes. So like, we had a dog Deadpool of like whose dog was gonna go first, you know?
Jesus.
This was like back in July. Yeah, I really jinxed it. I really.
So you were having that conversation with Luke as
Months
my
ago.
dog got put down?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, this is how we do. This is how we deal with it. You're not involved with it.
No, I know. I just
We
thought
don't
that
have
was
other people's
I just
dogs
thought
in
that
there.
was just, funny coincidence.
But like, yeah, now you say it, yeah, it's a little fucked up. So like, when I saw the tweet, the post, because he told us in like it was like 7 a.m. and I was like, oh fuck. And then I saw the post and like I just put my dog down like a month ago, Asa, and I was just like, and I'm gonna cry because not only do I feel that pain is still there. You're right. It doesn't go away. That unexpressed.
No, that's your
love.
baby.
Exactly. The shoulda, woulda, couldas, and all that stuff. And, so everybody, Trophy Room community, before we talk about we're going to get excited in the pre-show. I mean, the real show, send our love over to our boy, the Insipid Ghost, over on Twitter. Again, next Monday, I assume it's back on. I'll tell him he sucks or something. But, until then.
Wait, can I tell you? I had all of these little jokes
As
written
Luke would say.
to trash
stand back,
Luke.
stand by. Yeah.
I was ready to roast Luke because I know that's a thing between you two, and I'm like, well, let me just delete all these notes because we're being nice.
Yeah. Shit. All right, boys, are we ready to talk about PlayStation?
I'm ready.
Everybody in chat, are you ready to get hyped about PlayStation?
Oh, I'm ready.
I am.
Okay.
Because I am.
All right, chat. We'll see you in a second.
Oh, wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to episode 352 of The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week, we are talking about Stellar Blade dev becoming second party. Microsoft still wants that sweet Game Pass onto PlayStation. News about the long-canceled game Agent, The Last of Us Part 2 remastered Lost Levels showing up on the second season of HBO show The Last of Us, and so much more as we do it live each and every Wednesday night over at youtube.com/PS Trophy Room at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard and on podcast feeds each and every Thursday. Alongside me, the greatest co-host, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. You really tripped me up with that second season thing.
Well, because I
what are you doing
misspelled it. I put an S there instead of a D. Listen, it's been a long day. I made a mistake. I'm allowed to do
Fair
that.
enough.
I'm allowed.
I thought you accidentally put a stick there for me to trip on. You.
Why would I ever do that to you?
just to get me on my toes.
I'm more excited / nervous to talk about that Last of Us news with our guests because I saw some thumbs down. Oh boy! Oh, we'll get into it later, but
Yeah.
Well, listen, Asa Green River himself. How are you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm good. Let me tell you what.
What's up?
Randy Orton stole my line when he showed up on Monday Night Raw
did?
this week and he said, "Daddy's home. Daddy's back."
Oh.
I'm Daddy.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? I'm Daddy.
Yes, Papa.
I
you have a
by
job.
the way, I love seeing you pop up on SmackDown when you went. Just seeing you in
Bro,
the
that
background,
was-
just hanging out.
That was in
your Bluey
the
shirt,
best
which, by
surprise
the way,
I ever got.
Bluey's great, Joe.
Oh, Bluey's. We're gonna get into that. we're gonna get into that. Bluey's fantastic. But I'll tell you what, thank you again to my family for getting me that gift. And what's wild is like those seats were like, very reasonably priced, I had found out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the row right in front is when it just like jumped 800%. And it was like, all the seats in front of you are $1,000.
Oh, holy crap.
That's how they
but the
get
seat
you.
where
Yeah.
you're a little raised up is reasonable. And I'm
Yeah.
like, do that, because then you're like me and you're a local celebrity and
Yeah.
you're recording every TikTok WWE puts out.
Real talk. This is how cheap I am. I could have gotten seats to see Paul McCartney. They were like far back-ish, but like I would still be able to see Paul. They were $700 a ticket, and I was like, no way, no,
No.
I
Watch
know
it when
he's
it
a
comes to
living legend.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Like, no.
exactly.
Exactly. Listen, Asa, you got a job to do, because on the pre-show we got a little depressed, but we talked
Yeah, we
about
did.
this show Bluey, of which I say Bluey sucks, dude. I've seen like 4 episodes at work.
How dare you?
It's just Australian Blue's Clues.
No.
Oh,
Whoa.
so-
kidding me?
Bro.
Both dogs are blue. Both dogs talk to kids, I think. Both dogs,
You're
They
acting
walk
like
on
there's
2
only 2 dogs.
yeah. If they're blue, there's only 2, and their OG is called Blue.
No.
Bluey, how lazy do you have to be?
No.
You
No.
just
No.
added a Y.
No. Okay. First of all, I'm about to do through the screen. I'm about to skidoo through the screen and beat you. Okay. Listen. First of all, Blue's Clues is the name, and now it's Blue's Clues and You. As we're looking at the stuff with Josh. Yeah, I've got 2 kids. Okay, I'm in the Nick Jr. life.
Oh my God, this
And-
PC
and-
culture, where does it end?
And you should know, Blue does not talk. Blue is burr, burr, burr. Unless you're
doesn't
in
need to.
Blue's playroom.
Yeah.
Then that's when Blue becomes a puppet and she talks and she's got her little rainbow puppy. Yeah, that was
Too
after the Joe season. Listen, that's how like I know all you want the mythos behind these kids shows. I got them for you.
The lore
if you're-
behind Blue's Clues.
There's lore. Listen, if you want to learn about Bluey, like there's so many layers when it comes to Bluey. Like first and foremost, you need to know that they purposely like you're a gamer. Let me talk to you about frames per second. Okay.
Tell me
So
about
when we're looking at the development of a child and they're watching a TV show, Coco Melon, trash.
it. Okay.
Paw Patrol, trash. Like, so what we're looking at is scene changes, right? So if you've got scene changes that are 3 to 4 seconds, which is typically what those ones are, those are really bad for a child when it comes to their developmental state.
Okay.
So Bluey hits that. They don't switch those scenes until after, but they also don't use a lot of flashing lights. They used a lot of muted colors, soft sounds. You cannot deny Bluey's significance and power, because then you have those,
I
other
used to play in
people
the
who
dumpster
try to
when I
rip
was
it
a
off.
Child, Asa.
Okay,
This-
and there's
the
an
world's getting too
episode where they
safe.
go
We
to
need
the
some-
dump. What are you talking about? Bluey is about you.
Is it?
Yes. They go to the dump, you're playing in the dump, it's all the same. Let me tell you what, there
It
is
talks to the parents just as much as the
Yes.
kids.
if you are an aunt,
Does
an
it tell me to
uncle, a
commit crimes?
grandparent, or a parent, no, it's wholesome, Joseph. It's wholesome.
I need
So
some high stakes.
if you're any sort of elder to a child, you're gonna get it. If you
should.
don't, there's a good chance you won't get it. And that's not a dig. That's just
Yeah.
the way that the show is set up. But I'll tell you what, like, and you know what? Shout out to Queen Latifah from the Borderline family community, who still happens to be my sister. She's having a baby this week. Pre-child,
Uh-huh.
she didn't really
Yeah.
get the Bluey craze. She didn't really
Fair.
get it.
Fair.
She saw one episode at my house for when we celebrated Day of Mourning, or when we observed Day of Mourning.
Mhm.
And she was starting to be like, oh, wait a minute. Like something was like starting to click as her head was like starting to put herself, you like switch the role. And it really is like a mentality shift when it comes to like getting it. So like outside of that aspect, you have the fact that the show just like it's a good time. Like it's just a chill ass show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, the colors, the music is fantastic. Sometimes I just listen to the music myself. Like
It's cheery. It gets you.
Creek is beautiful. Rain, like those are just some like chill vibes. If you want to just like you want to listen on a rainy day, read a book if you do that. You know what I mean? And just have a good time. But then you also have to look at how the creators of Bluey respect child actors. They don't show who these kids are. They don't put their faces out. They don't put their names out in respect to the children and protecting them.
So wait, there's actual kids playing these dogs?
Yes.
I don't know
What have you said you saw an episode? What do you mean?
Yeah, whatever.
Usually
I need to sit you down and let you watch Keepy Uppy, and you tell me afterwards if you're not into Bluey.
I'd rather not.
Come on,
not at all. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen to me. This isn't directed at you. This is directed. I'm gonna take this moment to get on a soapbox. I'm gonna talk to somebody specifically who I've had the pleasure of meeting and talking to and all that stuff. Greg Miller, you are out of your mind. With that score of Bluey.
What do you give it?
You're kidding me.
I think it was a 2 out of 5, right?
It was like a 2 out of 5. Yeah.
Good.
It's a kid's game.
Good.
And it's one of the most wholesome. No, because I've played kids games, Joseph, and none of them like capture the essence of the show, which I think that automatically puts it at like at least a 3, if not a 4. It accurately, like, if you look at like how it plays as a video game, okay, fine, sure, give it the 2 out of 5. Not allowed to replay. It's meant for a fucking child.
Asa, does it? Will it help you if I say I'll give it a shot?
Yes.
I won't mean it, but ready?
You won't mean it?
No, he won't mean it. Absolutely not.
Okay. Oh, I mean it.
He'll come back in like the year 2027, like, hey, I played this really cool game. It's called Bluey, the video game. It's based off this character.
You're not gonna catch me with that. You're not gonna catch me.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna send it to your house. I'm gonna guilt trip you to play.
You're gonna sit there with your little pup Abby, and you're gonna be playing along with her. Tell me you're not. Yeah. Come on now.
Listen, I want to talk about PlayStation. Okay? Enough about these blue anthropomorphic animals. All right.
Bluey is on PlayStation.
But before we get into all the PlayStation goodness this week, it's time for a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, we got that new merch, BB. We have our By the Players community show this month. It's all about Sea of Stars. I believe that's on the 19th, Kyle. If you can, please let me know. Shout out to Marcus O'Neill and Drellish. Reach out to them if there's any spots open. That's our monthly show where we talk with y'all, the community, about a game that we've all been playing. And then we put it on Patreon. This month's, the first inaugural episode, the Spider-Man episode, that is going live this week. And again, you could join us in our live conversation this month with Sea of Stars. It's on PlayStation Plus. And guess what? It's a dang good time. 2 more things. Kind of Funny's doing its big up-and-comer community thingy-merbob again. And it would be awesome if you nominate Kyle and I. You know, we take over a Kind of Funny Games Daily, maybe a Games Cast. Maybe we actually do a proper, PS I Love You / Trophy Room episode, and it all possible. Link down in the description. Throw our names in there. And you know what? Listen, I mean, did we give Blessing his start by him being on this podcast? Yes. Who knew who Greg Miller was until he was on this podcast? I don't know who. Nobody, man. So go over there, send some love that our way there. And then finally, last but not leastly, the Platties 2023 is here. Vote on your game of the year. Vote on your favorite actor. Vote on your most anticipated game. Vote on over 29 plus categories where it's all about celebrating the games that came out this year and the people that made them. This year is the biggest year in video games possibly ever. There's just so much goodness, and we wanted to shout out over 70 plus games, over 70 plus teams. So please go over, vote, because voting's the most important thing. And what's more important than letting everybody know that Spider-Man's a game of the year? They're letting people know that Baldur's Gate's a game of the year. They're letting people know that, why isn't Starfield on this list? Let us know. Link in the description. Vote.
Really quickly, Sea of the Stars By the Players date is either the 16th or 17th. When you sign up through the form, you have an option, and I guess majority will go that way.
Oh, majority rules. Look at that. Of course, lastly, it's time for our Patreon pitch. I want to thank, first and foremost, this whole year, the Spotify Wrapped thing is happening. where you get to show everybody you have bad taste in music or great taste in podcasts, which, holy crap, the stats this year have been amazing for us here at the Trophy Room. We're so grateful for everybody, old listeners, new listeners alike. I saw people going, I saw you guys because of your Game of the Year showcase, and I've never been, I've been a fan ever since. I got Katie adding us saying, hey, it's been 3 amazing years with this podcast. We got Lamb Chop. We're his number 1, his favorite show. Right, Ishmael as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Really quickly, by the way,
I'm part of the 1%. Yeah.
I don't know if either of you saw this, but in some cases, Spotify had people like podcasts or musicians record a little something saying thanks. How come we didn't get that opportunity to do that?
Yeah, come on.
Right, like I got my video from my top artist, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
but like I wanted to be on there, but like, hey, thanks for listening. I don't know, Spotify, what's up? What's the matter?
I'd sing them a little ditty,
Spotify.
But yeah, and thank you most of all to our patrons over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. We don't kid around when we say this show would not be possible without your generosity over at patreon.com/@PS Trophy Room. If you ever got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, whatever your situation may be, it really does help us out. Even if it's just $1 a month, it helps this show go. It's the reason why we look so good, sound so great. It's your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. I want to thank our newest members, Drellish at the Platinum tier, I'm Throm at the Bronze tier, and Stingray X, that I assume is at the Silver tier. I didn't write that in because I'm bad at my job. Premium member, Todd Burowitz and Toxic. Our Platinum members, Jay Shea, Jedi Master Ren, Cowboy Danger D, Jonas Young, The Green Gorilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, Millennial Falcon Gaming, Ryuko Kill 90, Stephen Flesh, Strubles and Bits, Bertos Maximos. Chris Hybrid 748, Matt Valdez, Chris the Wizard, Solo, Liam Russ, Silcanet, Decimine, Jadus Von Metal, Mitchell Gramlin, Liam Rust, and Jonas Young. I want to thank our gold members, Cypher Primus, Doc Simon the Pie Man, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Hyde Indoors, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Marcus O'Neill, Red Arrow, Aegis Hermit, Andrazor, Astronaut Jr., Winter Gamer, Robbie Bobby Miller, Brendan Zachary, Brunty Blob, Bubble Boy N7, Captain Logan, Final Fan, XZ, Hambone, JD Dillinger, M9 Prime, Stone Cold, E.T., Tino 6-Speed, N. Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Rick Arrington, Spam and Bammy, Matthew King, The Overlord, Dorade Raksha, Rick Davis, Black Mavericks, and last but not leastly, the Lord Commander Suddy. Thank you all so much for your generosity. Man, let me tell you something. That list gets longer and longer.
Wow.
I get winded now. I get winded.
You gotta split that up. What are you doing over here?
Listen, people like when Joe does the voices.
They really do. They really do. And honestly, again, patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. It gets me ever so further away from, talking about shaving our balls. So it really does help us out. Unless you're into that. I don't know. That could be a Patreon tier.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
New goal for 2024, have enough patrons to fill a whole hour of you just reading names. It's a 2-hour podcast, but an hour is you just reading names.
Yeah. I'm at the Vietnam Memorial. How am I going to get these lists of names?
Oh, jeez.
What am I going to do? Where you're at.
I need the record to show that I'm a guest on this show. This is not my show.
You know what, Asa? It's good that you distance yourself. Kyle, it's time to square up the news.
I'm so sorry, Asa. First bit of news that needs to be squared up is from Sarmina Khan over at PS Lifestyle. Sarmina writes, Stellar Blade dev reportedly becomes Sony's first Korean second-party studio. Stellar Blade PS5 developer Shift Up has reportedly formalized an agreement with Sony Interactive Entertainment to become its first Korean second-party studio. Sony had previously signed an agreement to publish Stellar Blade exclusively on the PS5. The game was originally announced as a multi-platform title called Project Eve. The report of the second-party development contract comes from Korean news site gamechosen.co.kr. According to a translation of the article, the agreement between Shift Up and Sony was signed on November 24th. The article claims that alongside handing over Stellar Blade's publishing rights to Sony, the studio has joined Sony Interactive Entertainment's second-party partner program. However, there's no mention of any other projects beyond Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade was expected to be released sometime in 2023, but it's safe to say this release window has been missed. According to Game Chosen, new release information will be shared at a later date. The game caught attention when it was originally unveiled at 2021's PlayStation Showcase and reemerged a year later looking visibly improved.
Yeah. Listen, if you think you're gonna go away from that joke, I'm not. I'm gonna stand by it. That was funny. And I feel like enough time's passed. All right, Kyle, going over right to you with this one. Stellar Blade, officially part of XDev now. It seems like PlayStation saw it. They liked what they saw, and they kind of, put a ring on it, as it were.
Yeah.
Right. When you see Eve, you're like, I get it. But Kyle, respectfully, by the way, respectfully. Does this news mean that we're getting an update for Stellar Blade at the Game Awards? Because that's next week. We're going to be recording live December, what is it, 7th? So Friday?
Yep.
Or Thursday night? So next week's show is going to be a little delayed. It's going to be on Friday instead of Thursday. Yeah. But yeah, Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, I think it's I hate saying slam dunk, but I'm going to say it anyway. We're seeing it next week.
Oh, really?
I really do think so. I can't imagine why not. Especially because this still had a date of this year and was no announcement of it being pushed till next year yet. So why not show it off on the biggest stage of them all? By the way, the girls just came home and they're bouncing around upstairs. So if you hear that,
the dog's
that's them.
yip yapping. She's 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
I think this is a great move. I always love when Sony does this kind of thing, even though this is their first game, but it's still in a small way of like, we like what you see. It's not an established thing that they're buying out directly, and they're fostering that relationship from the get-go. So yeah, I'm so down. I'm ready to see what Stellar Blade is and ready to play it.
Yeah, I mean, I've liked what I've seen. Memes and jokes aside, like the game generally looks like it's gonna be a fun, like
I like
Devil
the
May
enemy
Cry
design. The enemy design is real cool.
I like how you skirted around it. Yeah, sure.
I'm being honest. What are you talking about?
All right, fair enough. But no, you're right. Enemy design looks great. I think the combat looks stellar. Looks like a great time. And I think with PlayStation realizing that next year might be considered to some a bit of a drier year for them, this is a great way to kind of put this game out in front, going, no, this is a PlayStation exclusive thing. It's always going to be an exclusive thing. And that maybe helps again, what some would consider a drier year for PlayStation, going, no. We got Stellar Blade. We hopefully still have Rise of the Ronin. We have, whatever else is coming out, Final Fantasy. Come on. We still have some beefy games coming up in the first half of this year. I take it over to you, Asa. What does this scream to you when you hear the news? And do you think we're finally going to get at least an update at Game Awards?
I'm going to be the other side of the coin when it comes to Game Awards. I don't think we're going to see this. I don't think we're going to see Stellar Blade. It just doesn't feel as big.
I think that's why
for that platform. I think we might maybe see it at a State of Play. Maybe if they don't do a surprise one by the end of the year, if they do one at the beginning of next year, sure, absolutely, I could see them showcasing Stellar Blade there. But as far as like the announcement as a whole for the devs, I think it's great. I think that this is a solid move. I love to see that. And I'm not going to put all of the games that come out of Korea into one box, but I loved Black Desert. Yeah. I loved the art style and the way that played. And from everything that I've seen of Stellar Blade, this seems to fall in line with that type of, like those visuals, the way that they, approach game design. So I think Stellar Blade looks fun. And like you said, when it comes to 2024 and Sony not really having a stacked year, I think that this is going to be like a good, what was that one? There was a game that came out. They sent it to me with a grenade, and I feel bad. I played it for like 2 seconds.
Don't pull the bit.
That
no,
incredibly unsafe.
No, oh my gosh, I just
was it a
talked
first-party
about
one?
it. No. It was a
DHL guy. Did not know what he was. It's a sensitive box, but
I thought it was wild when I got the email and they described the contents, and there was a grenade. I'm like, there's no way this is real. Let me say yes. But anyways, like it gives that B movie feel. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. That's not a dig. I'm not saying that this is going to be a bad game, but we're not looking at quadruple A. We might be encroaching on triple A when it comes to fidelity and presentation. But I think as far as like everything else comes into it, like this is gonna be like
It's a popcorn flick.
It's a good popcorn flick,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for that. Like those are bite-sized adventures that I love to play.
Yeah.
So all in all, I think it's a great announcement for the devs. I'm excited to play it. I don't think it's going to show up at the Game Awards. I'll be happy to be proven wrong because I think that would be great for them.
You're thinking of the Smilegate game Crossfire. Remember Crossfire X?
I'm not talking about that dumpster fire.
Okay, all right. I remember how Xbox sold that. It's like really big in Korea, guys. You know how big this game is in Korea? It's huge there. It's like, okay.
I will say, and I think I said it last week or 2 weeks ago at this point. Well, what is time anyway? The first PS5 game we saw at the Game Awards was Godfall, ever.
That's true.
So, and that's a smaller game. Granted, I don't think was considered second party or XDev, but PlayStation's not afraid of letting other games showcase what PS5 has to bring on these bigger stages.
And I kind of back you there where, you know, I think for the big stuff, PlayStation's like, no, this is ours. Like we're gonna save this for a state of play. For things that are smaller in scope, or like you're right, XDev, like this is a PlayStation exclusive game for now, like oh my god, I just forgot the name of the game.
Godfall?
It is a great start.
That's a great start. It's like, like for example, Horizon Burning Shores, right? That was revealed at the Game Awards last year, right? It's not the biggest game this year for PlayStation. Still there, it's still a great experience, but a smaller experience, right?
But Horizon's a tent pole.
But even then, it's like that's a nice little DLC. It's to me, it's not like this is the next Horizon or this is the next Spider-Man. And again, if you're hearing people yell in the background, my dog was bad. I think she just peed on the bed. My mother furious right now. That being said, my dog's 2 months old. Let's give her a little bit of slack. But I think that's why this announcement it makes sense. It's not the biggest game for PlayStation, and it gets all eyes on it. You know, there's going to be people from across the pond, watching this, whether it's on the Xbox aisle, PC aisle, whatever. It's going to get some layman out there looking at this game for the first time that maybe they wouldn't be if this was just a little state of play. So I think it makes sense that it be on the Game Awards, and I hope it's there as well, because Xbox said, hey, listen, we're gonna have some news, and I would like PlayStation to also be there going, hey, we got news too, because I don't want to be left out.
I might retract my position just slightly. I'm not going to go all the way. Yes, I think it's going to be there. Personal growth. I'm feeling because so first of all, the game was Wanted Dead. Shout out to the team at Wanted Dead. You sent me the grenade. I'm so sorry. I forgot who you were. It was a fun game. Okay. But anyways, I was thinking about Immortals, Avion from EA, and that was another like popcorn flick. That was a fun, it's not like 10 out of 10, but it was a solid 6 or 7. Like it was a fun time. So that got some screen time at Game Awards, so I could see it. Do I think it's gonna happen? Not necessarily, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle,
I just want to see it. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
You know where we are gonna probably see?
Not Bloodborne.
Shut your.
Nope. That's never happening.
Why would you? It's because of the Bluey comment, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right, fair enough. You know what? Fine. You know what we are going to probably see? That Horizon MMO. Take away.
Sammy Barker over at Push Square writes, Sony confirms strategic partnership with South Korean publisher NCSoft. Sony has today announced it signed a new strategic partnership with South Korean publisher NCSoft, which has put out games like Guild Wars and Blade and Soul. The deal allows the two firms to, quote, collaborate in various global business fields, including mobile, end quote, with NCSoft employing more than 5,000 people worldwide. A press release explains, quote, the two companies are evaluating a range of potential opportunities with an aim to foster strategic synergy, leveraging NCSoft's technological prowess and Sony Interactive Entertainment's global leadership in the entertainment field, Jim Ryan said. Partnering with NCSoft advances our strategy to expand beyond console and broaden PlayStation's reach to a wider audience. Like SIE, NCSoft shares a similar vision in creating high-quality, impactful entertainment experiences for players everywhere, and together we're excited to collaborate to push the boundaries of gaming further, end quote. Just over a year ago, it was reported Sony is making a Horizon MMO for smartphones with the help of NCSoft. Now this deal has been made official. It appears likely such a project is in development.
Ooh, Kyle Stevenson, my good friend.
Yes.
Does this news get you excited?
No, MMOs aren't my thing.
But if it's Horizon, and that's
not enough to get me into an MMO.
But what if it's just like a Monster Hunter?
Again, I don't play Monster Hunter.
I don't.
But Kyle, it's fun. It's like in real time. There's no tap 1 or 2 or 3.
I don't know. I will say though, I think over the weekend or the other day, yeah. I believe it was NCSoft had like a PS5 engine game they showed off, like 30-second clip of something of this beautiful game, and that impressed me. So if that's the same thing, which I can't imagine it's not the same company, they obviously know what they're doing. But yeah, no, an MMO on the smartphone, it's not. It's not doing anything for me.
I'm thinking this is something that probably scales. So like, it's on phones, it's on PlayStation, it's on PC.
Oh, sure, yeah, but you know me, I'm a single player person. Like I will only play, like I'll play multiplayer games by myself. Okay. Like I don't know.
Oh wow, okay. I thought because for me, I'm like, how dare you? To me, it's like, oh, I get more Horizon. I really like that world. I get to craft my own hero. I get to go on little adventures. This is a fun time to me. So like, I get excited by this news, and I know NCSoft made, like games like Guild Wars 2, which are huge in their own right. So they have the pedigree to make something pretty popular, and they have a good IP. I go to you, Asa. We saw the screenshot of the NCSoft president shake hands with Jim Ryan in his famous old man white beater t-shirt. Have you seen that image?
I did.
I implore everybody, pull over. It's worth a watch. This man is looking like your abuelo about to mow the lawn, about to do the grass and yell at some kids. This man's so ready for retirement, y'all. He does not give up. He is. He's like, wow. I don't even need buttons on a shirt. Just give me the undershirt. I'll get this deal. I don't know if he thought, hey, it looks like we worked overnight to get this thing done, but he definitely woke up right before this.
It's like he didn't know there were cameras there.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit. He like makes an intern go get him pants,
He thought it was in the locker room of YMCA. He's like, oh man, great deal.
Great deal.
Let's hit the steam room.
There's reporters here? What is this? But how do you take this news? Again, I like what you said before, because it kind of echoes this statement. South Korean company makes stellar MMOs, stellar action games. I want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm very excited by this at first glance, because I am a big MMO person. I've played the whole click and let them do the thing versus playing something like ESO where I'm actually swinging the sword myself. And I will say, Kyle, like, to each their own. But if the world is intriguing, the story is engaging, and the action is fun, I have had plenty of instances where I'm like, you know what? I just want to sink some hours, knock out some quests in Star Trek Online or Lord of the Rings Online or whatever, and do that and just be in the world. And I don't want to play with anybody. Yeah. And you kind of get like that best of both worlds of like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm in a world that I love. There's other people who might like show up and help me with a world boss or like something like that. And that's like sick. I don't have like, thanks. I'll do a little emote, like wave at you, and then like that's it. Like there's no pressure because
And to
I'm
sell you,
very
to
much
sell
the same
you like
way.
this is Bluey. Like, for
Stop.
example, like it's Blue. No, I'm like, I'm
Okay,
trying to
go
I'm
ahead,
trying
go
to
ahead.
reach this.
No,
man. I'm trying to reach
don't give him the go ahead. He's gonna turn around as a Bluey sucks thing.
No,
Yeah,
I
you are.
would never. I would
Okay.
never.
All right. I know you, Joe. Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know. But like stories in MMOs are generally like they're actually kick ass. Like one of my favorite stories is actually World of Warcraft: Wrath of the Lich King. Stellar
Yeah.
story. The Wrathgate cutscene. Holy crap! Like I still get chills, Kyle. Look at that, chills
I can't
thinking about it. Well, they're there. Audio listeners, oh my god,
Trust
goosebumps for days. Yeah, it was like in Spider-Man with the hair standing up. He's like, oh. So like the stories, there are stories just because they're massively multiplayer doesn't mean that they're not great. Like Miss Pandaria as well, great example of like a
Mhm.
really great
Oh,
story. Garrosh,
don't take what I
incredible
said
villain.
like me saying MMO stories are good. That's not what I mean. It's just
Okay.
that style of gameplay is something that just never clicked with me.
Yeah.
And having other games that I know I'm going to be sinking tons of hours in,
hmm
I don't know if
You know what it
it's
feels like?
enough for me to pull me away.
What if
I
you
think
jump in-
the
what if you
real
jump in
time
with us?
combat. Yeah, jump in with us. No pressure. You don't
Oh,
gotta talk. I'm not gonna be on a mic. You think I want to talk to this guy? I don't want to do that.
I mean, yeah.
But no,
That made me a little sad, but yeah.
yeah, but on a
gonna-
serious level, I think the way that you engage with the world like totally changes things.
Fair.
Because I think about like when I played an obscene amount of hours in Lord of the Rings Online, it was the classic World of Warcraft where like you just click and the person goes and just does it all themselves, and you hit your little hotkeys and you do your little stupid things and
Got your macros.
but it was Lord of the Rings, so I loved it. But
Mhm.
normally that just isn't my vibe. That's why like I love ESO because it's literally the same format as Skyrim or Oblivion or Morrowind or whatever. Like I'm hitting the swing button and I play that on console. So like yes, it says mobile. That doesn't get me jazzed. But like you were saying, Joseph, if they scale it to a PS5, I'm down. Like I'm always willing to give an MMO a first go around. And if it sticks with me, it does. And if it doesn't, then so be it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only turn off for me, the one thing I'll say, like just to get this out there and then, we can, move on. But,
Sure.
it being in Horizon is not my jam. That's just me. I haven't messed with Horizon really since like I tried to play Zero Dawn. I couldn't get past Child Aloy's like big head. Like I couldn't do it.
Come on,
And-
you're like, oh, Bluey's great for kids. You're making fun of
No,
a
no,
child.
no. Listen. Okay, I
Wait,
did
put on
play
a small
past
child?
that, sir. I did play past that, but what I actually couldn't get past, and this is not a guilt trip for those who love Horizon. Like I'm not trying to yuck your yum, but I couldn't get past the like indigenous appropriation. Like
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
that was like real, and which sucks because I love Terminator, I love robots, I love dinosaurs, so like that's my jam.
Yeah.
But that was just like immediate, like my brain just could not connect. So
Mhm.
that's the only thing that like bums me out about this announcement. Because I loved Guild Wars, so I'm hoping that maybe NCSoft maybe ports over Guild Wars 2,
Can I-
or
can
like
Can I tell
you
you
know what I'm
something?
saying?
When I read this news,
Give
you
it
know
to
what'd
me.
be really cool. You know, what'd be really rad.
Was
They give us the EverQuest.
shut up.
Right?
If we got EverQuest, oh.
Let me tell you something. EverQuest is like is the unicorn for Joe. I always wanted to play EverQuest as a kid, and I never could because of the subscription. And we had a Packard Bell computer, guys.
Yes.
Okay. That ain't running jack shit. And so like we had my brother's friend Steve. He had EverQuest and a computer capable of it. Hashtag gateway computer. Remember those
Yes.
cow
Yeah,
boxes?
uh-huh.
Yeah. And it ran EverQuest. And he's like, dude, you can literally run from one side of the map to the other and you never hit a loading screen. 12-year-old Joe's brain melted. Today, I walked through Alan Wake 2 and was like that dumb 12-year-old again. I walked through the hotel back in New York City. It's like, holy crap. Like, how far we've come. But, like, I would love that. I would love to see an EverQuest.
Can I like vibe with you for a second, digress for just a little bit? Okay. I was a poverty ass kid. Okay. No money. I lived off of demos in other people's houses.
Mhm.
Same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was this family that moved in down the street from us when I was a kid, and they had everything. They had all the games, the systems, the hot PCs. That's where I first played Diablo, but they had EverQuest. And I was like, I've been cutting open EGM magazines at the local grocery mart and reading them and shoving them in my book bag so I can continue to read them.
Yep. And you do it like it's a fucking bank heist too. You're like looking around at cameras there.
Like they're gonna miss a $4.99 magazine.
School. Yeah, you're just like peeling open. I'm like, all right, where's the disc?
And I'm just like, oh yeah, look at this game. I'm never gonna be able to play. Well, this family moves in, and I had younger sisters, and they had young kids, and so they were all hanging out. And so I remember I went over there one day, and this is when I found the holy grail of their home. And I was like, jeez, can I hang out with your dad while he plays games and you guys do whatever? So I was like, can I just try making a character?
Yeah,
on here, and that was my first experience with EverQuest.
That's
Besides
awesome.
reading the magazines, it was playing at their home.
That's
remember
awesome.
when you played a game at your friend's house that you weren't allowed to play at your home? Like,
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo. Or sorry, not Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
She's Grand Theft
GTA,
Auto.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't drive those cars.
No.
You can't. No. First off, real talk, everybody, podcast listeners. If you're hearing the yips and the skips because she's barking real loud, apologies. But I can't help but laugh every time she barks. I just hear one of my family members go, "Oh my God, is Joe done yet? We need him." Feels good.
Really quickly before I forget, I found that tech demo. It's called Project M, and it is from the same company, NCSoft. I retweeted it on my Twitter, so anyone can go check it out. It looks incredible. Third-person action game. Looks like it takes place in Japan, in Tokyo. Very cool-looking theme park. So if this is the quality of the dev team, I'd be okay with checking out anything that they make because it looks stellar, and it's a PS5 tech demo. So
okay, fair enough. I thought that was the real game when I first saw it. I was like, oh, this
no,
actually
yeah,
nice.
in-engine gameplay of Project M.
Oh.
Here we go. Let's
All
see
right,
this.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Give me that. It looks like something out of like Yakuza, but like it looks real.
Yeah,
nice.
like what was that? Sleeping Dogs.
Yes.
Sleeping Dogs, yes.
Yeah, it gives me a lot of those kind of vibes. Looks cool.
Yeah.
Wait, is this supposed to be the MMO?
No.
Just like a fun little,
I think
like,
it's just something else that they're working on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
I
this is
stopped
what we
listening
can
for
do with
2 seconds,
That'd
and
be
clearly I
wild if
missed the
this was
details.
MMO.
Yeah.
Horizon
Kyle,
got
let's take away-
way modern.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, this is Horizon? There's no way.
Take away the next story, good sir. I got to see what's up with
Of
this
course,
dog.
Bobby and Alt from Game Rant writes, Microsoft still wants to bring Xbox Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. Microsoft is still looking to push Xbox Game Pass onto as many screens as possible, including PlayStation and Nintendo. This initiative isn't an entirely new one, as Microsoft reportedly tried to bring Game Pass to PlayStation at least once before. Not to mention, there have been rumbles for years about Game Pass being added to the Switch to no avail. After a while, gamers would be forgiven for thinking that Microsoft has given up on what many have thought to be a pipe dream, but that's not how Xbox sees it. Xbox CFO Tim Stewart recently talked at the Wells Fargo TMT Summit, where he shared Microsoft's desire for Game Pass to be on, quote, every screen possible. While Stewart included smart TVs and mobile devices, the Xbox boss also referred to platforms like Nintendo and PlayStation consoles, two hardware and software manufacturers that Microsoft has, quote, thought of as competitors in the past, end quote. Our mission is to bring our first-party experiences, our subscription services to every screen that can play a game. That means smart TVs, that means mobile devices, that means what we would have thought as competitors in the past, like PlayStation and Nintendo. What remains to be seen is if Nintendo and PlayStation will allow Game Pass onto the respective platforms. While Microsoft might not currently see Nintendo and PlayStation as competitors, it's still unclear whether the historical rivals feel the same way.
I mean, we've echoed this for literally years now. There is going to be a day where we see an Xbox Game Pass app on a PlayStation.
Xbox tax on PlayStation. I don't know about it.
What do you think the tax is going to look like, Kyle? What do you think?
I literally have no idea.
I think the tax we have to pay is that this is like, to me, I'm thinking we open a Xbox Game Pass app on PlayStation one day. Not saying it's tomorrow. and we're earning achievements instead of trophies. I think that's the tax we have to pay. It's
Yeah.
like when you work, across state lines, you get taxed because you're working in New York, and you get taxed because you live in New Jersey. How that makes sense, I don't know, but I think that's how that tax looks like. That said, Asa, real problems, and real questions coming to you.
Yeah.
What do you see? Do you see this as like a pie in the sky thing? Because, like, listen, he wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't something they were actively trying to do. He wouldn't be saying it to a group of investors, right? So, like, this is, and again, we've been kind of seeing it, even the way like Phil Spencer has kind of talked. It's like we want to view PlayStation gamers and Nintendo gamers as part of our ecosystem as well. We have to, something along those lines, paraphrasing. So, I want to know what you take away from Big Man here. Talking with an actual suit on, no grandpa T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, of course, yeah, right. This is such a convoluted like statement, a convoluted situation, because on one side of the coin, I completely understand Sony and PlayStation saying no, absolutely not. Nintendo is a little bit more like on the wire. I could see them moving forward with it because they really have nothing to lose. It's like, okay, keep you on, keep you on your Switch. Like, that's fine. And that would also be good for Xbox to have like a dedicated handheld companion thing, like the Portal or whatever. But PlayStation, from a business standpoint, I could see the higher ups at Sony saying, hey, you know what? They're buying a PlayStation. Even if they're playing Xbox games, they're still buying our unit. So sure, I could see that, because then it's like, oh, I could get the best of Xbox while still getting my Sony exclusives. And from a business standpoint, sure, I see that. But from a prideful standpoint, absolutely not. Like they're not going to do that. But I will tell you right now, after seeing what Xbox and Microsoft did with the whole Blizzard Activision King situation, and having worked in that world and experienced, those types of brains, they will not stop. No. Absolutely not. It's not pie in the sky for them. It's a matter of when, not if. So even if it is 25-25 in the years of Halo, like, this is still going to be on their docket at each investor meeting. When is this like, they're not going to stop.
And I think Jeff Grubb said it on Twitter, or he was quoted as to say, if you're PlayStation, you do it. On one hand, you're right. On PlayStation, I'm still the market leader. Let's just take a look at it right now. Xbox Game Pass, all the good press that Xbox has gotten over the past few years, despite its tax, it's still not hitting the numbers that I think even I thought they would be hitting by now, right? PlayStation's still a huge dominant force in the industry. Phil Spencer is right. It looks like they did lose the generation to lose, right? With the Xbox One. And so if I'm PlayStation, part of me goes, you know what? I get all of Xbox exclusives, and I get to kind of dictate terms in terms of like, how much of a cut we're getting from Game Pass on a PlayStation. This seems like a win-win if we can maybe, turn achievements into trophies instead. Maybe this could work for us, right?
Yeah.
But then if the future is subscription services, which I do worry that it is, then if I'm PlayStation, why would I put, let's be honest, a superior service, which is Game Pass over PlayStation Premium? Why would I put that on my box? Nobody's going to buy my thing.
Well, and also to that note, people are already screaming and clamoring for PS first party games to be day and date on PS Plus. So if you have well, sure, but I'm saying if you have Game Pass on a PlayStation and you get every Xbox first party game on release day on that service, that's going to cause PlayStation users to be, well, how come we don't get our things day one on our service? Like, I think that would be a bad look to have that so readily accessible for everybody when they clearly don't need to do the first party thing on day one.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sure, not,
Not
yet,
yet.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think so. I think it is a matter of when. Like this is gonna happen. I think
Mhm.
it is when PlayStation builds out, the essential extra premium tiers to where they feel comfortable that it can compete in its ecosystem and still get a relatively good cut of whatever, a Game Pass game is played on a PlayStation. Because I do think it is a matter of time. Listen, they got Call of Duty. I hope that shifts things in Xbox's way, right? They got World of
Mhm.
Warcraft. Like they got so much right now that it is a appetizing like offer. Once those games come to Game Pass, it's like, yeah, that's gonna be really tempting to a lot of folks.
Yeah.
And I also see on an Xbox side of things, they don't want it because how does that incentivize people to buy a Xbox? I could
But
understand that theory.
yeah.
I don't care. I get to play Halo on my PlayStation. It's kind of how
Right.
I look at it. I'm like, dude, if I get to play Halo Infinite, the best iteration of Halo multiplayer, on my DualSense, and oh my god, I got the DualSense features. Ooh wee, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
So like, I don't really necessarily care about the box. Listen, I could play Game Pass on PC. I still have the Starfield wrap on my Xbox One. So it's like people are still gonna buy it. And
Right.
it's not like they're buying them in droves to begin with. So like to me, I just feel like it makes sense. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
makes sense. I don't think it's anytime soon, but I think that this is gonna happen one day.
Yeah,
One day.
it definitely makes sense, and I've been saying this for years. Whether people choose to believe me or not, like get on this wagon of like Xbox does not view Nintendo and PlayStation as their competitors anymore. Like they are looking at the Netflixes, the Googles, like they're looking at streaming services, and this is one of those situations that just makes it even more evident. Like I feel bad for Xbox fanatics because
Go for it, Bev.
they're while they're doing everything that they can to appease their gamers and their fan base, ultimately they are a business and they've got people to answer to. And those people that they have to answer to want this. They don't want to keep making expensive boxes that people aren't necessarily buying. They want to lower the amount of money that they're putting out, but increase their gains. So it's like capitalism is going to win in the end. And you're going to see, unfortunately, I feel, less Xboxes in the wild and more Xbox services or clients or whatever apps on everything.
Yeah, I think those boxes are always going to be there, but I definitely feel like the ecosystem of Game Pass is like like when they really say play wherever, they really mean like play wherever. You're right. I
Yeah.
think they do view Netflix as a competitor in the sense of like you're seeing games on Netflix. Look, you got the bad Grand Theft
Yeah,
Auto
Captain Logan in
remasters.
chat just says, "Hey, who's going to play GTA Trilogy on Netflix?"
Exactly.
Listen,
So like,
Netflix
Wild
is cooking
sentence
over
to
there.
say, by the way.
and I mean they got Joseph Satan over there. I've heard nothing but good
Yes.
things about the man. So like to me, I do feel like Xbox is playing a bigger game, and whoever it's like the people that complain about like the Xbox tax or whatever. It's like I don't really care about those people, and neither does Xbox, and neither should you. So like to me, it's like if
Mm-hmm.
you're giving more chances of people to play great Xbox games like Halo Infinite,
Yeah.
and Sea of Thieves. Again, we're a PlayStation podcast. I think those games are great. I think Starfield's great. It's one of my shortlist games this year. Then who cares? Like more people
Yeah.
get to play games. I think that's the only thing that really should matter.
I think the last thing that I'll say on the matter is I think the only way we're really going to see PlayStation make any sort of positive move in this direction is going to be if they can get some of that Game Pass tech.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I'll stream my PS5 to my phone to my PC, like that's great, but when I'm using my PS Plus essentials, like if I'm playing a PS3 game, I can't download it. I can't play it on the console itself. I have to stream it. And it's so hit or miss with the quality. Like I was playing Devil May Cry, like the trilogy, the PS3 trilogy. So like, I couldn't download it. And there were so many hitches versus when I'm remote playing Spider-Man. And I don't experience anything. But with Game Pass, pretty much no matter where I am, no matter what I'm playing off, if I'm streaming a game, I played through the entirety of Halo 5 in a speed run streaming, I'm like, I'm not downloading that trash onto my Xbox.
Fair enough.
No problems. No
Yeah.
problems. So I'm like, I feel like if they can get some of those insider baseball tips and tricks from Xbox's folks when it comes to the streaming services, then maybe, you know, they'll start to come to the table.
And Xbox is now PlayStation's biggest partner. So it's like
Yeah.
we're coming to the point where, you know, they talk to each other more than we think they do. And they, you know, they wheel and deal now way more than we think they do.
Way more than you know.
Yeah. And so like to me, I see this future. I want to live in this future. And honestly, you know, we're portal pals here, people that own PlayStation portals.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
PPs for short. We love them. We love our PPs.
I want a PP.
Dude, they're great. And
everyone will
and
get their
you're right,
PP
like, if I
someday.
yeah, man. And it's not the size of PP that matters.
No.
It's all
It's the
8 inch
quality
and
of the PP.
It's how you use it.
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
in the Wi-Fi situation. But like I love remote playing on my portal. Like it's really become like my go-to thing on like lunch breaks or whatnot. Like if Xbox broke out like a Game Pass like tablet, oh my god, I would be on that day one too. So it's like again, it doesn't matter the device to Microsoft. They want, if it can run Game Pass, they want it there. And I think we're gonna see that future fairly soon. That said, Kyle, you know what? It's something we'll not see ever again.
Tom Ivan over at VGC writes, former Rockstar dev shares details about canceled PlayStation exclusive The Agent. Announced as a PS3 exclusive at E3 2009. I graduated college in 2009. The game was planned to take place in a 1970s Cold War setting, but it was ultimately abandoned for being, quote, too much of a distraction, end quote, from the company's work on Grand Theft Auto. That's according to former technical director Abi Vermej, I'm sorry, Abi, if I said your name wrong, who spent 14 years with Rockstar North before leaving in 2009. He said the original plan was to split Rockstar North into two teams, with half working on GTA 4 and the other half working on Agent, which was codenamed Jimmy. Quote, it was a James Bond game, and Jimmy is the Scottish version of James. End quote, he wrote in a blog post that has since been unpublished on Rock Paper Shotgun. Quote, the game was set to be in the 70s, be more linear than GTA with a number of locations. There was a French Mediterranean city, a Swiss ski resort, Cairo, and at the end there would be a big shootout with lasers in space, end quote. Vermeer said he worked on Agent for over a year before the studio decided to prioritize development of GTA 4. The game wasn't progressing as well as we'd hoped, he said. It was inevitable that eventually the whole company would have to get behind GTA 4. We tried to cut the game down in an attempt to get the bulk of it done before the inevitable call from Rockstar New York would come. We cut out an entire level, I think Cairo, and maybe even the space section. It became clear that Jimmy was going to be too much of a distraction for us, and we ditched it. I think it was handed over to another company within Rockstar, but never got completed, end quote. Following several renewals, Rockstar abandoned its Agent trademark in 2018 before pulling the game's website in 2021.
Real talk, this I love James Bond. James Bond's like my jam. And so when I saw this news, I'm like, why aren't we making a bigger deal of this? This is, first off, this is cool, like inside baseball talk about what this game could have, would have been. Like a James Bond-esque like video game made by Rockstar. Awesome. I want to know your thoughts, Kyle, your initial thoughts on Agent. Again, the long-awaited and now canceled PlayStation 3
Man,
now we know so much more about.
I am bummed.
Yeah.
I just feel just from the settings alone, the French Mediterranean city, a Swiss ski resort, Cairo, and then lasers in space. We don't get enough of that like in action games ever. They seem a little bit samey lately, and which is, you know, fine. It's about the gameplay and whatever, but I would have loved to see Rockstar do its thing with a James Bond-esque kind of game.
Yeah.
And this just, it sounds so much fun, and I'm going to get flack for it. I hated GTA 4.
Oh, no, GTA 4 is garbage.
It's one of my least favorite GTAs, and the fact that got prioritized over what this could have been, makes me a little upset, because this sounds like a great time.
First off, Nico, I don't want to go bowling, guys. And, like, the driving in GTA 4
Driving is what drove me up a wall.
Terrible. that being said, like the attention to detail that we know Rockstar to have, like I'm thinking Red Dead, I'm thinking Red Dead 2, like especially Red Dead 2, the attention to detail that they use in that game, dude, to do a spycraft thriller, like
Like Red
I'm
Dead
thinking
Redemption, the first one's one of your favorite games of all time, and
it is.
just
Yeah.
think of a James Bond story of that quality in that time era would have been killer. It would have been awesome.
Dude, it would have been so awesome. Again, like packing out like what my agent is gonna be wearing, like a watch that's like a proximity mine, or like I don't know, like a poker chip that's actually like a communicator. Like something really like cool spycrafty shit. I'm driving like I don't know, a Lamborghini with machine guns in the front, like something dumb that I love James Bond for having. And even like the lasers in space. I think about the last Pierce Brosnan film, which shout out to Halle Berry in that movie. Oh my God, humbly, respectfully, all of the above. I'm like, yeah, the dumb laser that was like over the top. I love that shit. That's what makes James Bond cool to me. So like to hear this is a bummer. I'm glad that the story's being told or was being told, because I want to know what happens behind the scenes of why we don't get certain games. And Asa, I want to know what your thoughts are, man, about like Rockstar asking, it looks like politely, rock paper shotgun to kind of take down the story.
Taking down the story is a crime because, or you know what, they say it's better to have loved and lost than to have never have loved at all.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you that this would have been my jam so hard, anytime that I play GTA Online, whether it was 4 or 5. If you catch me on stream, or if we're playing privately, or if I'm just playing alone and you're not even with me, do you want to know what I'm doing 99% of the time? Pretending that I'm James Bond.
Yep.
I have the accent.
Once you get the Lambo in, you're like, I'm James Bond right now.
It doesn't even matter what car I'm in. I'm like, I need to acquire your vehicle. Like I'm coming over, I'm taking the cars, and every other player is like, they don't know that I'm MI6. Like, you know what I mean? Like this makes me so sad.
So I'm not even trying to say this to get you out. I do the same thing. I get like a Banshee or like a Lambo, and I'm like, I'm James Bond.
Yes.
God forbid I get a dent in it. I flip.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. But like the last time that I streamed it, I was like that was my tryout for IO Interactive to cast me in James Bond. I never got the call. But you know what I mean? Like that's how much I do that. But like the thing that really gets me with this is like, say what you will about GTA 4. I had a great time. I think they still had some of the best DLCs to ever come to video games.
I never played them, so I have no opinion.
Okay. Fake fan. Get out of here.
I was not a fan of GTA 4. I will say San Andreas is the GOAT. Like that's
Lost in the Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony were phenomenal.
I've heard,
and they added so much to the games.
Yeah.
But so like I see them
Liberty situation.
Yes. Yeah. I see them put out LA Noire, Bully. Yeah. You can even look at the tech demo of the table tennis game. And I'm like, you have the capacity, Rockstar, to put out these fantastic games that are not GTA. Like, even take out Red Dead, because that's GTA with cowboys. Great. You know what I mean? Like, take out the Grand Theft Auto DNA and just look at all of the rest of their catalog. Midnight Club 3? Are you kidding me?
Dude, yeah.
Like, they put out such bangers.
Yeah, it kind of makes me bummed. Is like, again, like I get Rockstar's more, popular fit, whatever, successful than they've ever been, but like, it's all money at the end of the day.
It's
like,
money.
Dude, I would love to see a Bully too. I love table tennis. I dug the
table tennis is fire.
I know.
And you know what?
Like the little projects is what I kind of miss out of them. Yes. We don't need like the huge, grandiose stuff all the time. But again,
right.
Even while I'm saying that, the attention to detail of Red Dead 2, though, I don't love that game. If they implemented it here, I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, you know what? I blame them for Alpha Protocol. Do you remember that game? I feel like Alpha Protocol is I don't know if this is truth. So like, don't hold me. This isn't gospel, but like, I imagine the people that worked on the agent and Rockstar's like, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. So they go to, I can't even remember, whoever developed Alpha Protocol, and they're like, you know what? Hey, we've got a great idea. We couldn't do it over here. Let's do it over here. I blame them for that.
Fair.
Because that game was not great. And we could have had something truly amazing with Agent.
Yeah. But
I
hey,
just hope they go back.
IO Interactive has James Bond now.
They certainly do.
Which is promising.
Yeah.
Which is promising.
Very promising.
What they have with Hitman 3, one of my favorite games out of that year.
So good.
They're the perfect team to be matched up with that. That said, it's time for a little bit of Flash news. Gotta run fast. Gotta go fast.
Okay.
Topics. Asa, move your hands. Oh my god, he's faster than me. Okay. Here's the first bit of Flash news. Guys, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Bloober team asks fans for patience on Silent Hill 2 remake, says things are progressing, quote, smoothly. This comes from Victoria Kennedy over at Eurogamer. A Silent Hill 2 remake is progressing smoothly by Bloober team, has reassured fans. Last night, Bloober team released a statement on Twitter saying it would like to clarify that work on the upcoming remake is continuing in, quote, accordance with its schedule. As Bloober team, we are proud to be a part of Konami's plans for for the Silent Hill franchise, it wrote. Alongside our partner, we diligently are working to ensure that Silent Hill 2 Remake attains the highest quality. The studio said that while it appreciates fans' dedication to its upcoming remake, it now asks for the community to remain patient while waiting for more news. Bloober said that Silent Hill 2 remake publisher Konami is ready to share more. The wait will be worth it. Quote, thank you for your understanding and support. The studio closed. Now, guys,
sounds a whole lot like Abandoned too. You know what I'm saying?
Did Hassan write this post?
This is Abandoned. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. I mean, again, just quick answers. I think they put this out because it's Game Awards.
Yep.
This game was supposed to be out this year. Remember?
It was one of the. I remember earlier this year when we were talking about like our Game of the Year stuff, thinking of just the horror category of having Resident Evil, Dead Space, and Silent Hill all in the same year. That would have been nuts.
Yeah. And we're not having it. And I think it's them just kind of showing we're not going to be at the Game Awards either.
Yeah, sure. And I'm fine with that because from what I've heard from, I didn't play any of the other Bloober team stuff, the Medium or, they did the Blair Witch game, right?
Yes.
I didn't play either of those. And
Layers of Fear.
Yeah, I didn't. I've heard mixed things on all of those. I'm sure they're a good time, so I take their time because I know Silent Hill 2 is like god tier, like holy grail for some horror fans. For some, Asa, for some.
Yeah.
All right. Next bit of Flash news. HBO The Last of Us Season 2 will feature content from the remastered Lost Levels. This comes from Ryan Dinsdale over at IGN. Last of Us Season 2 will feature content from the remastered Lost Levels when it hits HBO. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, a Naughty Dog co-president and show co-creator Neil Druckmann revealed one element of the Lost Levels, which were cut from the original development of Last of Us Part 2, but are being included for bonus content for the PlayStation 5 upgrade, will probably make it into the HBO adaptation. Quote, a tease, I will say, at least one element from the cut level is planned for the show, unquote. Druckmann said, I say that with the caveat that we haven't started filming the show yet, and things are subject to change based on what we ultimately feel is best for the show, unquote. Hey, so what's your hot take on the Last of Us Part 2 remaster? And does this news get you kind of excited for like the show of some sort?
It does not. More personal reasons for Mr. Druckmann and things he's said and done, which just kind of like bummed me out because the first Last of Us is one of my all-time favorite games. The second one I never finished. I apologize to those who get mad about that.
How dare you? You should love the same thing I love.
But it was really good, but it just didn't like pull me in in the same way. But I love the first season of the show, but that really was just my double thumbs down was just like it's so, it's so hard sometimes to separate
Sure.
the creator, the artist from the art
Yep.
kind of thing.
Sure.
But to hear, some things like that he was saying, it's like, whoa, wow, you just really like tainted my view when it comes to viewing this property.
Sure.
Which is a huge bummer to me, because I'm like, am I going to consume, and this is not like no condemnation to those who want to watch or play in the future. Do it. Do your thing.
I'm not gonna listen to you one gosh dang bit.
That's right. Like, do your thing, because he is not it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah. That's just me. I think
Fair enough.
I loved Lost Levels, like the stuff that was in that I played when it came to PS4. I thought that was great, and I truly loved it. So I'm torn. It's more personal, really.
I get you.
Yeah. No, yeah. So like for me, I actually get kind of pumped on this news.
Get
Like,
pumped.
Yeah, right. I finished the game. I beat it. I'm gonna play it again. But for me, I get excited because like seeing the show take Left Behind and tell it the way they told it, and then like also adding some things like the second episode I think is the chilling opening, where like all she says is bomb. It's like holy shit. Like that's just just so chilling and it's unnerving. It's just all the things. So like to see the Lost Levels make it back to the show, hopefully when it's adapted to TV, awesome. Kyle, my question to you: is it a golf scene? Do they go golfing?
Man, Joe. I hate this. I hate this so much. You joke about it every week. How dare you?
It's the joke only gets funnier.
To some, not to me.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm so psyched for this. Last of Us 2, I'm on record saying it's one of my favorite games ever. Might be one of my favorite. I'm all for this remaster. I love the Lost Level concept. I love the roguelike mode that they're putting in there. That should be a ton of fun. I like having them tie in together, show and game. Just give more. Because I mean, we've heard that from season 1, right? Like everyone's unfair criticism of like the Bill and Frank episode. That wasn't in the game. That was why is this in the last? Leave me alone. That's one of the best episodes of television ever.
Of television, yes.
So the fact that we're getting even more added things planned for the show, but we're actually going to experience it in the game is like the reverse kind of thing like that, and I'm all for it. I'm all for that kind of stuff.
Same, likewise. Yeah.
Can I add an addendum? I said Lost Levels. I was thinking
Lost
of
Legacy?
the Left Behind.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The Left Behind DLC.
Yeah.
That was a misspeak on
Sure.
my end.
No
also,
worries.
I want factions.
Yeah, exactly.
What's factions? Gosh dang it. Katie writes in. Katie, hey guys, hope we are doing well and staying warm. A little bit. I still wore Crocs outside because I'm fashionable. Yeah, Crocs without socks.
So
Make that a hashtag.
You got to put socks on.
hold on. That will make you even colder. There's holes in those cracks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just out here taking the dog for a tinkle.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not scaling Everest, guys.
No,
My dog
but
just
your
got to bust a piss. That's what
Posies can get cold.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's nice. It's a little refreshing. Makes me feel alive.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Katie writes. All right. She's like, hope you stay warm. This week, Druckmann came out and spoke about what could be next for Naughty Dog, and it looks like we might be getting something before we get Last of Us Part 3. We've all heard many rumors of Naughty Dog's next IP being space-themed, but no confirmation yet. My question is, what genre and setting would you like to see Naughty Dog dip their toes into? What would you like to see them try something different? Might not be over the shoulder, third person, etc. Personally, I would love their next IP to be fantasy based. Imagine the level of storytelling in a Lord of the Rings / Game of Thrones world. I would be their Day Juan. As always, guys, you are killing it with things like the Platties 2023. Please vote right here, right now. Link in the comment section down below. Buy the Players is amazing, and you can, again, see it recorded on patreon.com/psreview or participate it live, join our Discord, talk to Marcus O'Neill all about it. He's going to get you to it. Amazing stuff. Great stuff. Love you guys and take care. Kyle, I'll go to you with this one. What is the thing you'd like to see them do? Would you like them to make that space game? Would you like them to, make a How You Train Your Dragons game? Where you at?
Was that a Bluey shot? Was that a shot of me being a fan of the kids thing? You sure?
No.
It seemed like it was. It seemed like a little
It
jab.
felt personal.
It did feel a little personal.
How I Met Your Dragon's a great film.
Okay, all right, okay.
All right.
All right, I'm just making sure.
I watched the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Fair.
guys.
I can't wait to watch it.
When I say no
wait.
problemo, it's not like I'm trying to be Hispanic with it. I'm saying it like I'm Michelangelo.
Gotcha.
Right? It's nothing to do with my heritage. It's about my childhood.
I definitely want to see a space game from them.
Okay.
Whether that is like a sprawling space opera kind of thing, like a Mass Effect level kind of game from Naughty Dog, I'd be so into. But I think alongside that, which I've spoken about before, I also think just give them Mission Impossible. Let them make a Mission Impossible game. I think would be kind of dope. I know Blessing has said that on various shows as well. And the more I think about it, the more I'm into it. Because Naughty Dog, when it comes to like Uncharted and set pieces, I think they meld so together with Mission Impossible, like as a franchise.
Yeah.
I think that would be a whole lot of fun.
I would love to see them take a space opera. And I giggled at your answer. It's like this big space sprawling epic, and I was thinking of Starfield a little bit in my head.
I mean, fair.
And like they called it Field Star.
Also, shout out to Sean Capri in chat who also said Western RPG in space. So, yeah.
So like for me, I as much as I would like to see them take on the stars, there's something about the engine that they currently have. Like I'm thinking of like how like the rope physics works in Last of Us Part 2. I'm thinking about how like the bow and arrows work and weapons work in that game. And I think it suits it more to like a fantasy type of like field. I would love to see them take on a more realistic like take on fantasy, kind of like a Game of Thrones, where it's like magic's there and there are dragons out here, but it's not the way we envision those things to be. Like when you think of a paladin in World of Warcraft, he could heal all sorts of things, where like a paladin in Game of Thrones just gets to light their sword on fire every now and again. So like I think something along those lines I think fits Naughty Dog better, and I would love to see that being made. But at the same exact time too, as I say that, I'm like, you kind of have that with like a Plague Tale, which is for Asobo, that is their kind of love letter to, or their biggest inspiration is The Last of Us. So, you have sorts of those games already there. It just, I'm kind of torn because one hand you have the action third person game, which is Uncharted. Then you have the survival horror with The Last of Us. So where do you take it next? I just don't see them abandoning third person. I don't see them abandoning that. And I don't see them abandoning set pieces and linear narrative for something big and incredibly broad. Like I know like Uncharted 4 has like those bigger, wider levels, but like I don't see them taking on like a Starfield-esque like go explore some planets. Like I don't see that for them. What about you, Asa? What do you see Naughty Dog doing next?
I'll tell you what they should be doing. Stop remaking Last of Us and remake Jak and Daxter.
Oh my god.
Good call.
So there's that. Like, where's my Jak racing? But whatever.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the next move that they need to make. I like what what Katie's saying and making it some fantasy. But here's what we need. Are you ready for this?
Tell me.
Have either of you seen Dragonheart?
A long time ago.
Is that
Dennis Quaid, talking dragon? You get a little bit of the similar storyline with Dragon's Dogma, with like the dragon like giving out like the piece of the heart to like whatever, so there's that stuff, but spin it on a way of Scalebound. Like they could have a moment to slam dunk on Microsoft and be
It's a
like,
good call.
yo, you want to cancel Scalebound? How about we give it to Naughty Dog? And because they've got great writers, right? Like the humor in Uncharted for me, I think is fantastic. It's heartwarming.
Agreed.
So like let's get a fantasy comedy buddy cop kind of thing going on. That would sell buckets.
Fair. Yeah.
And I would be there day one.
Yeah.
One of these characters looks like straight up Jeff Daniels. I'm looking up Dragonheart right now, and it is reminding me of something.
Well, you need to watch it because that's a fire movie.
I mean, honestly, I do like the dragon designs, and I understand this is 1996. Okay, guys, remember 1999? We'd get Godzilla if that was too close to the sun. Yeah, for us there. This one,
Godzilla having babies in Madison Square Garden, man, I'll never not unsee that.
Yeah,
but think about this. Like you're right. Like you get a little Drake on your side, and like you're kind of raising him.
Is the Drake Nathan?
Yes.
Do we call the Drake Nathan?
There could be a Nathan Drake reference. I'm not.
Called little Natty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like that would be really cool. I dig that. I like it.
I'm really excited for them to do something outside of like something we see every day, right? Like Uncharted.
Past the realism.
Yeah, like Uncharted 4 is more realistic than the other three because the other three had like supernatural elements. And like Last of Us is pretty much just this world with like monsters in it. It's things we've seen them do before and things that we've experienced elsewhere. I would like to see them kind of change the visual style a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Like I would love to see a Naughty Dog take on what a other planet will be. And like the fauna, the wildlife. Yeah, go out there.
And that could happen if you take
Fair.
that Scalebound Dragonheart, like
1,000,000%.
give me a world like Xenogears or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
where you're just like on the backs of Titans or like some crazy shit.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Fair enough. Hey guys, you guys see the Dragon's Dogma? Because I did not.
I also did not. I did not watch it yet.
Hey, so take me under your wing here. Take me under your wing. Like from what I've seen, like the little snapshots of it, whatever. Snapshots. Snapshits. Dumb. It looks pretty rad. So I want take me under your wing here. Why should I get excited? Sell me on it like you would sell me Bluey.
Okay. Dragon's Dogma, the first one, is one of those games. So everyone always talks about how they have rebought Skyrim, right? Like, oh, I've bought Skyrim on every single. That was also me with Dragon's Dogma.
Okay.
I bought that on my 360. I bought that on my PS3. I bought that when they re-released it with Awakening on my Xbox One, my PS4. I bought it on my Switch like not too long ago because I was like, I want this handheld right now. Like the way that they tackle like the dark and high fantasy with just like some wild stories, but then you get that Capcom action. Like the combat is so visceral, and then you throw in the elements of like Shadow of the Colossus, where you're getting to climb these monsters. You know, like imagine grabbing onto the back of a griffin while it's just like flying in the air, and you're just like beating the hell out of it. And you have your little pawn, your little bestie that you made. You like pick like Joseph. You can make Kyle. And name him Kyle, make it look like Kyle, and that's your little buddy, and just travels with you. And so like you're just like beating this griffin in the air, and you're like, Kyle, like shoot your arrows. What are you doing? And stop watching Bluey. And you're just like fucking pounding it. Like that's it. Or like you see these people walking with boxes along the way, and you're like, while you hold that box, I'll pick you up and throw you off a cliff. Sorry, what?
Is a no, don't worry. A pawn is like your squire.
Yes, your little squire. And then what is super dope is you can upload your pawn to like this server, and then you can eventually get to, you know, a point in the story where you can recruit up to like, I believe, a party of 4. So like you have all of these like custom pawns. So like I remember I was in this one area. It was like very, very difficult because the game is also incredibly difficult. So like if you want some good challenge, I know like you're missing on your Bloodborne, so like this could be something that might help you out with the challenging aspect.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so it's like, you know, if I've leveled up my pawn to be like level 99 and you've just started, well, I just uploaded my pawn to the server so then you can go to your little home base and recruit my pawn to join your posse and
Oh,
just
wow.
wreck fools to help you out. And you get this feeling of traveling this grand world with all of these other characters that like you feel like some connection to, because you can be like, hey, I don't want you part of the crew anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you're not holding your weight, get out.
Right.
I'm gonna get Joe Schmo over here to join up, and it's just there's just something so endearing about the world, and it also has one of those kind of like a Dead by Daylight where like nighttime is a lot more difficult than it is in the morning, and it just I am so excited. I'm upset that the MMO never came to fruition. Watch the show on Netflix. That is a great time too.
Oh, I
There's a show on
forgot. I
Netflix?
forgot there was one. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, damn. Okay. See,
There-
the one
yeah.
thing that I dug from what I have been told from what little snippets I saw was just like you could approach combat like really differently, like
Yes.
actually differently. Like you see like this ogre and he's just chilling out by like a side of a mountain, and you notice, oh, this mountain has some boulders on it. Well, I could just climb up this mountain, push the boulders, and the boulders are gonna go kill that ogre. It's not like in Skyrim I walk up against an ogre and he just hits me so hard I got shot in the sky 50 feet.
Yeah.
So like it's those little things of like, hey, kind of think outside of the box with when it comes to combat. Like, yeah, seeing you being able to climb like this, like kaiju looking knight. I'm like,
Yes.
this gives me that type of vibe of like, yeah, Shadow of the Colossus climbing one of those big boys, and how much I've been missing that lately.
Yes.
You kind of got me sold on Dragon's Dogma, bud.
And you just like start rocking this like Jujutsu Kaisen like heavy or Attack on Titan like heavy anime rock music. Do a quick little
Ooh,
a
lost
quick
me on
save.
anime.
Okay, no. Okay,
Bring me
I'll
back, bring me
keep you. I'll keep you. Hold up.
Okay.
So the thing with anime is just like it's fast paced and it's action, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like your blood is pumping, so you do your quick save right before you know it's gonna get hard, because you're gonna die a lot. And so that's another way where like you can take it a bunch of different ways. Like I think about like early on in Dragon's Dogma Awakening, where like there's this one little ravine that you have to go through, and sometimes unless you don't want to, like there's like wolves and goblins and stuff, like they're everywhere and you're about to get ambushed. And so I remember I was just like, my strategy is not working, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna summon the powers of anime, and we're just gonna like full charge in, like because you've got your regular hits, you hold the trigger for your extra hard hits, maybe use a little bit of magic or whatnot, and you're just running, charging, jumping, and slamming down. Like I'm not kidding, the action in this game is like some visceral Street Fighter stuff. Like this
Okay.
isn't like your classic little swings. Like there is a lot of flair to the attacks that these characters do.
I'm just
So
sitting over
play it.
here thinking about the potential of Joe creating me as his pawn and then uploading me and being downloaded a whole bunch of times. I'll turn into a pawn star. It's great.
Is it? Oh no.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't think it worked out well for them.
I'll pick you up on my shoulders.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Next little piece of housekeeping. This is just a yay or nay. Just a yay or nay. You see them Fallout Amazon show pictures?
Look
How
good.
they looking?
Good.
All right. There's something about the power armor that's kind of
In one shot. The two shot I thought looked good. The shot with all of them together, I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, is that CG? That looks a little.
it looked like really good cosplay.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
And that's what has me a little alarmed. But I'm figuring the certain angles, filters over it, it's gonna look fine.
I just
I'm
can't
just not a
unsee
Fallout
the cowboy character without the nose.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I can't just unsee, like I close my eyes and I see that face, and
Like I think he looks great.
that's what I mean. Like
Oh,
that looks
fantastic.
great. It just the like seeing the, like you said, that power suit armor and then that back to back. It seems like different things.
Yeah, I wish, because I saw a lot of Fallout fans get hyped for this. So I want to get a hype check. Are you guys hyped for the Fallout show? Are these picks like affirmation of said hype? Let me know. I know Spotify. It's like, how did you like the show? Like Q&As. They just came out with those. Let me know what you guys think about the Fallout show. What you've seen so far. Are you a fan? Because I'm not. I would love to be. I'm waiting for that PS5 patch, but I want to know what y'all think, the audience. All right, y'all. Here's another quick one. The last bit of news: PlayStation Plus Essential games for December. They're out. Lego 2K Drive, Sable for PS5, and Power Wash Simulator for PS4 and PS5. Game of the Year contender, Power Wash Simulator.
Hell yeah, it is.
Kyle, anything you'd like to?
Oh yeah, just a little quick side note. If you add Power Wash Simulator to this month, your library, which you should, the DLC, the Tomb Raider DLC, and the Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC for Power Wash Simulator is free. So make sure you add those as well, because those are like a great time. And you might be like, Kyle, that's a stupid thing to say. You're just washing things. Let me tell you, it is the most therapeutic thing you can do. Of me like cleaning off the scorpion guard from FF7 Remake, like the boss, and just making sure that thing is nice and shiny to go kick Cloud's ass in the demo game. Yeah. There's something special about that game. I don't know why it works so well for me and other people, but it's real good.
Yeah, there is something very therapeutic about that game that, like on paper, it does sound like silly and whatever, but like there's something about like a nice, silly game.
Because most simulator games are like not great.
Yeah.
This one works.
This one works. So Canet writes in, hey guys, hope you're doing well. Not a question, but Sable is on PlayStation Plus lineup of December. Please, everyone, play it. I've heard nothing but great things.
I've been wanting to play it myself.
Yeah, so I'll be jumping into that soon.
And I was looking at possibly getting 2K Drive too. Oh. I like Legos. Yeah, I like racers. Could be fun.
Yeah.
Solid month.
All right, y'all. Here's a little segment. I know we're running a little late, but I do want to get into a little bit of what you've been playing. I won't talk too much because I know we're both sharing a game on the list, Kyle. So take it away. What have you been playing, my man?
Well, I platinumed Alan Wake 2. I don't remember if I said that last week or not, but I'm going to say it again here. I've finished Alan Wake 2. It's stellar. I'll get more into it during the Platies episode. In my eyes, after this game, Remedy is up there for me for the likes of like Naughty Dog and Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Like even before I thought of them in the same way for like Control, but this is just like what they did Next with this level. Game is it blows my mind. It blows my mind.
Kyle, I went to a hotel motel Holiday Inn.
You sure did.
Level. And I literally just like, what?
Yeah, dude. And the music. Come on. Oh, if Old Gods of Asgard are not playing next week at the Game Awards show, Jeff screwed up. I'm just saying that right now.
Let me tell you. Something. I thought that moment would be overhyped because everybody's like hyping it up.
Yeah, I hyped it up a whole lot.
Oh my God. This game is approaching legendary status. Like, you're right. What Alan Wake has done for me, I'm putting it on the pedestal of what From Software does for me. Where it's like From Software, whatever they do, I buy. And now Remedy, it's like whatever they do, I buy. And it's both for like
different reasons. Yeah.
You know, Remedy, man, they're one of the greatest at telling stories that like Kyle, you saw how many theories I had.
Yeah.
And as they're not coming true, I'm not disappointed because the outcome is so much better. And like, I'm getting to the point where questions are starting to get answered. And I'm like, oh, wow, how did I not see this coming? There's just a lot of really awesome moments in that game that.
And it's not perfect. There's some things I think they could do differently, but the overall thing I think is just stellar.
Yeah, like the nursery rhymes, I'm kind of a little sick of those. Stashes.
Well, you're not a puzzle guy, so.
I'm not a puzzle guy, but it's like, oh, there's a fuse box that needs a fuse. It's like,
fair.
How many have I come into contact with? Yeah. Some of the boss fights don't work well.
The backtracking is very tedious because there's no fast travel stuff, and it's a bummer.
And after a while, there's only so many like creepy deer mask people that get me scared. It's like, all right, you're annoying, but I know you're gonna be pulled away from me soon. Anyway, going too long in the tooth on that one. What's the next one you've been playing?
I hop back in because it's the Platties, so I want to make sure I play as much as possible before we do our show. Played through entirely Resident Evil 4 Separate Release DLC, the Ada DLC. First time I ever played that. Like, we played RE4 originally a few years ago. Yeah. For the first time, and did not play the DLC then. Played it now. It's fun. It's essentially, I like to refer to it as the greatest hits of Resident Evil 4. Like, you are going through the same locations, obviously, just a different way, hence separate ways. I mean, yes, you could infer it from just what this DLC is, but it's fun to see where you are as Ada, and they cut back to Leon and what he's doing and what you're doing and how close they were the entire story, I think was really, really cool. But it's a fun, like, 5-hour thing to get back into RE4. I mean, Ada is a great character, and she plays great. Her weapons are awesome. It's a fun time. Yeah, respectfully. And the last one is just Sea of Stars.
Yeah.
Been playing a ton of Sea of Stars. Made me cry real bad yesterday. A beautiful, touching moment happened. And I can't wait to talk about it with our By the Players show in a few weeks. Yep. Sabotage Studio, another one. Just know how to make a good game. I'm blown away by how good they made a modern day RPG feel retro.
Yeah.
And vice versa, and the way it looks, the way it sounds.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. It's really damn good time. I finally caught up to where I was on the Switch on my PlayStation Portal. I am playing that game strictly when I'm at the place of business when it's
I played it a lot on Portal too. Works great.
It works so great, man. And speaking of the games that I've been playing, a whole bunch of them, but on PlayStation Portal. Shout out to Luminous. I never played Luminous.
Oh,
really?
This is the first time, yeah. And goddamn, y'all, this game is
talk
great.
about music.
Oh my god, it's pumping, and it's pumping pretty darn loud and like pretty darn good on the Portal speakers. I've already put, I think, like 4 to 7 hours on that game. And I'm like, I should get to Metal Gear Solid. I should do this, whatever. I'm like, nope, it's Luminous. I'm playing the puzzle game on my tablet. That's what I'm doing. I tried to play Metal Gear Solid. I got the Master Collection, and I want to start at 1, and the Portal doesn't have a select button, Konami. In fact, PlayStation doesn't have a select button anymore.
The
Konami.
touchpad won't work for it?
Now, it's annoying because, like, obviously the controls are not great. So, for example, to select is circle, to cancel is X. Like, let's modernize the controls. Just that simple, like a setting. Switch it so it's reverse. The fact that it still says select, and it's not like how a lot of games are when it's like when you're loading up a PlayStation 3 game, for example. They'll be like, hey, select and start are on the touchpad. They don't tell you that one bit. And the Portal touchscreen, or it's emulated touchscreen, not great.
Yeah, it's not great.
That needs to be fixed. But besides that, I've been loving the Portal, man. This is again, it's not even the best like Wi-Fi environment that I'm in, and it's working pretty darn flawlessly. Like I'm really enjoying it, and I love that it's making people online upset that I'm enjoying it. That's the best part.
PP's rise up. PlayStation Portal.
You need good internet, right? It's not even like it's like.
Hey, IGN posted a video. They were playing Spider-Man on a plane, on the Portal.
Of course, it's a PlayStation. Shut your lips. Shut your lips. I love this thing. I love it so much. It's a damn good way to play. Hey, so what you been playing, man?
You know, I've been kind of jumping around, playing a lot of Super Mario Wonder. I know this PlayStation podcast.
No, that's fine.
But wow, Wonder is
it
so
good? Okay,
it's so good.
Yeah.
Game of the year? I don't know. I could see, but I'm also not done with it yet because I'm a big completionist. I'm like, I got to get all the things in every single level. Some of those levels are so hard, and the Wonder Seeds make it that much more difficult. But I love the nuance that it adds to each level. Like there's one where it turns it into a top down, and I'm like, I never saw this coming. I'm bummed that I can't jump in this environment, but I'm just so mesmerized by the fact that it just completely changed perspectives. But no, Wonder is phenomenal. I'm really enjoying that. I'm finishing the DLC on the first Spider-Man. I have not started 2.
Ooh, okay.
Because I never finished the DLC when they first came out, and I was like, oh shoot, well I can't in good conscience play the second one without finishing this.
I feel that, yeah.
And especially as someone who platinum Spider-Man, I need to get all the trophies for these DLCs. But I'm on the very last one. I got every single trophy in the first 2, so I'm on the last one. And then I'll be jumping over. I'll platinum Miles later.
I forget which one is the last one's more Sable focused, right?
Yes, the last one is like the all-out war. Because
yeah, that's right.
There's Sable's involved, and they're stealing their tech, and
yeah,
you know, it's really, really difficult to hit some of these challenges.
It is.
And that's what is like really, I have to like take my time because I'm like, I'm not going to throw this $70 controller, but I need to walk away. I need to walk away.
Have you played Miles yet? Or are you waiting?
Oh, yeah.
You did Miles. Okay.
Yeah, I played Miles when it first came. I got
Gotcha.
that with my PS5.
Sweet.
And am 3 trophies away from a platinum on that. But I'm like, the platinum race for that one can wait.
Yeah.
Until after I play 2, just because I also want to go back and enjoy the world of Miles.
Absolutely.
You know, I pop into 2K23 every once in a while, get my matches in. But the storyline mode in that was really frustrating me. Like, don't make me be the bad guy when I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be the heel.
Yeah. And you're talking about WWE, by the way.
Yes. Sorry. I just jumped into 2K.
I love the GM mode a whole lot. That's what I will hop in and play GM mode in WWE 2K from now and again.
I love the RPG aspects to the My Rise mode.
Yeah.
But like there was a moment where I'm like, I'm hitting the dialogue options that I myself would choose in that moment, and they're like, well, no, you need to keep having this conversation until you're the jerk. And I'm like, well, that's not me.
I do miss like the career modes from like Here Comes the Pain PS2 era, because those were perfect when it comes to like create a wrestler. They were amazing.
What are like the wrestlers that build up other wrestlers? What are those called?
Well, you mean like they're just like putting them over?
Are they like, just like the guys who were out there just to lose?
But like
they're called jobbers.
Jobber, yeah. I feel like I'm a jobber from time to time. I like to be the heel, but like I like to get my comeuppance.
Sure.
Like I'm a little bit of a sicko that way.
Your comeuppance.
Yeah, I like a little bit of my comeuppance.
I feel like you need to come out with like a top hat and a cane and a monocle and just talk like that.
I thought
Nobody can beat me.
That's right. Get some of those Italian boys to go drill a hole for me back in Nevada and Salt Lake. Maybe one of them gets their comeuppance one day. Not me. For I have a monocle and a cane.
John Cena's music hits.
But it's like steampunky old time.
Yeah.
You see?
So I've been playing that, and also a lot of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
On the PS3.
I like
Sweet.
it. I like it.
That's not in the collection, right? I'm sorry. That's the one on mission, right?
Yeah, Peace Walker is I guess supposed to be in the volume 2.
Whatever 2 is. Okay.
Yeah. But
what would volume 2 be? Would that be Peace Walker 4 and
I think
probably a
Acid,
re-release
maybe?
of 5.
Yeah.
No, if they're gonna put Acid in, it'll be Acid 1 and 2, Portable Ops, or whatever that like.
Acid was great, dude.
But Acid wasn't. I feel like what they're doing is they're doing games that are canon. Acid wasn't canon.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, really?
Okay.
And Portable Ops like was, but doesn't matter because
Fair.
it was so small. I could see it being like the Metal Gear 1 and 2, like they put it as like a little side thing. Like they could probably do that, but it's not going to be like the big tent pole pictures.
Gotcha,
It's going to be,
Okay.
Hey guys, are you holding on to something by any chance?
I got a pen today.
Are you holding on to something, Asa? Hold on to something, anything. Okay. Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation Storefront this week. November 27th, Anime Dream on PS4. Deflector on God, we got flagged. Deflector on PS4. First time. Can't say this one.
Yeah, you can. Come on. You want me to say it?
First time in Hawaii, an Ezra Miller story on
Oh,
PS5.
God.
You see, I brought
Why?
that. I went because I think it's a fighting sim. 28th. Calico on PS5, PS4. Asa is not on this show. He doesn't know who we are. We've never met once.
No, I didn't sign up
You
for
didn't
this.
sign up for
By the
this?
way, First Time in Hawaii is a hidden object game. Continue.
All right, fair enough.
That doesn't help his joke at all.
Oh, you know what? That's totally fair.
Yep. You'll never find him. Calico on PS5, PS4. Roots of Taka on PS5, PS4. We are a very popular PlayStation show, Asa.
I know. You really are,
I
actually.
don't know how. Suicide Kai on VR Deluxe on PSVR 2. November 29th. I shouldn't be doing these anymore.
No.
Forest Grove on PS5, PS4. Orton Was the Case on PS5, PS4. The Traveler's Path on PS5, PS4. November 30th, Arcadian Atlas on PS5. Actress Obelix, Slap 'em All 2 on PS4. Gangs of Sherwood on PS5.
You remember that one?
No.
That's the Robin Hood multiplayer game.
Oh.
The 4v4, I believe. I think it was in a state of play.
I thought it was like a Trine kind of game.
Oh, I could be mistaken. No, that's what I was thought of.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Well, listen, Moat Solo, no girlfriend since birth. Wow. Striking at our core here. PS5, Pinball M on PS5, PS4, Pixel Cafe on PS5, Tintin Reporter, Cigars of the Pharaoh on PS4, Tintin Real Talk. That was our jam when we were a kid for a little bit. Like my dad's European. He just discovered BBC is like also in America. He's like, here's Tintin. Really dug it. Really dug it. Truck and Logistics Simulator on PS5. I worked at one of those. That's can't wait.
Like
Can't
I
wait for
said,
someone to yell at you.
most simulator games are not that great.
Someone's gonna yell at me because their sleep number mattress didn't come in between the time frame of 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. She's about to make it my problem. Turok 3 on Shadow of what am I on today?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've had 2 drinks and I'm not at your level.
I like it. I kind of want to live here. Turok 3 on the Shadow of Oblivion on PS5, PS4, and Steam World Big on Build on PS5, PS4.
Yeah, that Gangs of Sherwood is that 4-player co-op.
Oh, it is.
Where the armies of the Sheriff of Nottingham are now stronger than ever thanks to the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh,
yeah.
what is this?
So we're stealing from JK?
That's
Good.
fine by me.
Good. Exactly. Just like I stole those movies when I watched them this year. All right, guys. That's how I take back. That's how I send a message. It's time for the last segment and my favorite segment of the night. It's time for the Sony Pony Express.
Yeehaw!
This used to be a more problematic segment, Asa.
I think Asa's on the show when it was.
I was like,
I
wait,
understood.
what is this? And then you did it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't feel like out of anybody I should be doing
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's why I want to just reiterate for you, Asa. This used
like,
to be more problematic. I used to steal from Andrew House's house. It used to get more ridiculous over time.
I'm
and,
glad
we
that
thought
stopped.
This would be better. Yeah. So, my apologies. Bertos Maximus writes in. What's up, guys? Do you guys ever sit there ready to pre-order a game and then think to yourself, am I about to drop 65 quid or dollars for you on this game? But what if it isn't worth the big price tag? What if the hype and the trailers aren't true representation of this game and it turns out to be a lackluster game and ultimately not worth what you spent? I found myself with this mindset after looking at Avatar, the game, coming out in just 7 days, I believe. I believe you are right. I think it's the 7th. As someone who mostly buys digital on the storefront, there are elements of risk. What are your thoughts? And as always, guys, keep bringing us the great content and keep repping House Slanger. God, you know I will. You both true legends of this age. One of your friends from across the pond.
Yeah, I think about that often, and I've thought about this game.
Yeah?
It intrigues me a little bit, but not for that price. I will wait, if ever, to play it. There's too many other good games right now that are sitting on my backlog for me to add something like this, but I'm trying to think of the other time where I was like, man, am I really going to go all out for this? And
I think a good example for me, because I never pre-order anything digital, I'll never pre-order it. Just because, like
it's gonna be
there's
there.
nothing I'm really gaining. Yeah, so like even if it's on release day, you still get the pre-order incentive like a week after.
Sure.
You know, so like you go. There's no risk.
As a physical media boy now, you kind of have to pre-order a game in order to make sure you get a copy.
But like you're just like $5 is less of a risk. For example, I wanted to pre-order. There is a joke coming. Please brace for it.
Oh boy.
I pre-ordered
like, oh no.
Yeah, Asa, you really want to back away for this one. It's really funny. The Final Fantasy VII Deluxe Edition at GameStop with the Stop the Steal trucker hat on it. You didn't see that pre-order bonus?
Oh, the Rebirth one.
Yeah, the Rebirth.
It doesn't say Stop the Steal.
I don't know, maybe it does.
It's just Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's what it says on it.
And then lower bracket, Stop the Steal. It's a nice little trucker hat. I'm like, I want that dumb trucker hat. I need that dumb trucker hat. No harm if I throw $5 at this trucker hat, you know? And take the materia back, you know, or Midgar back, dang it.
What happened since last week? What?
I think it's the green tea. The green tea's coursing through me, and it's giving me powers.
Green tea. That'll do it to you. That'll get you.
But yeah, like for me, it's just like I don't. If it's digital, I don't pre-order it. If it's physical, I only pre-order it if I know like, we're very lucky. Sometimes we get codes for things. So like for example, if it's a game like Lies of P, like we got a code for it, but I'm still looking for the deluxe physical. Like there are some games
expensive now.
Yeah, there are some games where I'm like, oh, I should have pre-ordered it. So if you know it's gonna be a rare find, I'd throw $5 at it just to keep it there. But if it's like a digital purchase, I never pre-order. What about you, Asa? Do you still pre-order games?
You know, I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't pre-order games unless it's, and this hasn't been the case in a long time. Like there's something where I'm ready to drop that coin on all of these extra peripherals. I just end up buying them secondhand on Macari anyways.
Yeah.
For like half the price. And then like when it comes to like there was another point that they said. Like, oh yeah. Like when it comes to like I don't sit and like wait for like reviews and stuff too, typically. Like if it's a game that I'm genuinely hyped in, like I've seen the trailers and I'm sold. Yeah. I don't want to get someone else's voice in my head. Like I'm gonna play it because I want to play it. Like
example, like Spider-Man 2, I'm like day one. Like some people you just trust them. I trust day one. But if it's like something,
I still kept my pre-order for Gotham Knights because I was hyped for it and excited for it, even though it's not the best thing in the world. But I was excited for it. Yeah.
It's fun. Kyle, actually, I forgot you read these now, so take the next question away.
Sure. Brody writes in, "Hey guys, how's it going? My question for the week is: with opening 2 banger releases, that's right, I'm saying it even though you crossed it out, of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and The Last of Us 2 Remastered, what are your gaming expectations for 2024? Do you think that next year could be better than this year? Thank you guys for being awesome, and shout out the House of Bangers."
Okay, enough with the cusses. This is a family show. Kyle, we're doing our most anticipated games for 2024, right? Over the holiday break. Yeah. So we're not gonna get too deep into it.
No.
But for us, I can answer it here. I'll answer the second part. There's no way next year can live up to what we got this year.
No.
None.
It's partly logistical, where like there was a global pandemic and things got pushed, and now everything is out this year. But there's no way next year is going to touch. It might, quality wise, maybe, but the sheer amount, probably not.
Asa, I go to you.
Yeah, I don't think 2024 is gonna be a house of bangers.
No?
No,
Possibly slangers? They're better than bangers. One slanger.
possibly
equals
slangers.
No, Asa, don't.
I don't know what a slanger is, but your
He's-
shirt
he's-
looked awesome
Thank you.
Oh, damn it.
Thank you. Asa
with the
gets
Elden Ring on there. Like,
So Joe hates bangers. He's banned the word from the show, and he wants to try to make slanger the replacement word. I don't even know what it means.
Well,
slanger doesn't sound as good as banger.
No, it
though.
doesn't.
Let me explain, and Asa, you will
Sounds like a
regret it again.
slog.
It does.
You will regret it again. Okay. This was another unhinged Joe moment a few months back, where people noticed on, I think, Ryu in Street Fighter that you know
Oh,
how
God.
there's jiggle animation. Well, you know what? We live in a modern world. Now there's also jiggle animation on Ken in the pants region.
As
And
there
there-
should be.
As
Yeah.
there should be. Come on, you know. And let's be honest, that guy is not a grower. He's a shower. And so,
But he's got that BDE.
Exactly. And there were some females going, he's got a slanger on him, and I thought that's hilarious. I'm gonna appropriate that word.
Oh, okay, so slanger is like, bro, you packing, and I can see it.
Exactly. It's dick swinging. You know,
Like
And
you
no,
put it
it's
on the
tough.
table if you could. Okay,
it makes a thud. Yeah.
I think we'll definitely see some slangers.
Yeah.
Oh no.
God damn. See, I won.
But
Asa.
here's the thing: is I feel like slangers
Asa,
come when
I'm
you
gonna
don't
legitimately watch
expect it.
Bluey now.
Fair.
I'm gonna give it a chance because you signed.
Do it, because here's like I said, it's bangers. You know they're coming. You're like, oh, this is about to slap so hard.
Yeah.
Slangers are like, ooh, that came out of nowhere, but this is fire. Let's all jump on this. Slangers.
I would like to, for the record, state that Joe has never said that explanation like that ever. So you're welcome. You've never ever explained it that way ever.
My definition is the new definition.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Joseph.
That's fine.
No, I mean that's a way better definition. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Jug writes in, question from the Sony Pony Express. I know you guys have a lot of trophies, but do you guys have any 0.1% platinum trophies? I'm sitting at 3, Smite, Escapist 2, and Payday 2.
Smite.
And they are my proudest accomplishments in gaming. Yeah, Smite is crazy, Jug.
That's
Payday 2?
That's
game gets so
crazy.
hard.
Also, Jug, what's your main in Smite? Is it Sun Wukong? Because if you are, you're a piece of shit. But if you're,
Just calling
if
him
you're
out.
Anubis, Anubis, or what was the Aztec god with the bees? I loved him, dude. He was awesome.
The Wicker Man?
Not the bees, not the bees. Yeah,
Yeah, we're old.
I
I don't have any 0.1%, I don't think.
know. So
My rarest is Fall Guys, and that's on PSN profiles is sitting at a 2.3%.
I am, and where are you looking at this? by the way?
PSN profiles is where I
PSN
look.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at right now, and it's not showing me.
I don't even have to look. I don't have any rare platinums.
That's
Oh,
fine.
I
That's
got.
fine.
Listen, I got some good ones.
I have like
I
2,
got-
3.
The rarest one is Sekiro for sure, but
Oh,
here's the funny thing, because it's a From Software game and it's amazing. The platinum rate, it says here, is 10%. So if you could dream it, you could do it. Again, this is on PSN profiles, so that could be a big lie, but
did you
That's what
platinum
some-
Elden Ring?
of course, twice.
Okay, I heard that one was easy. I'm not
No,
about to
yeah.
try it.
I even platinum.
no.
It's fine.
It is definitely the easiest one to platinum, for sure.
I also platinum Bloodborne. So I 100%ed it though, Joe. You still have to play the DLC.
I'll always have something waiting for me for Bloodborne.
Yeah, okay.
You haven't
Yeah.
played the DLC,
No,
but
he
you're
hasn't.
crying for Bloodborne
Thank
2?
you, Asa. Thank you. What a wild.
I feel
You've lost all credibility.
all right. Here's
Kick
the
this
reason
man off
Yes!
this show.
Here's the
Yes!
reason why. Lisa. Here's the reason why. I don't like this guy's energy all of a sudden. The reason, and it's really simple. I barely play DLC. I really don't. Like, once the game's
Okay.
out, it's out. So like if the game comes out like 9 months afterwards, the way my brain thinks is like, oh, I gotta rewire myself. I gotta relearn the controls and everything's gonna be harder. So I don't want to deal with it, and I just don't.
Listen, I get that if it is a game that you don't
And
love. But when my Twitter feed, whenever I seldomly get on,
Yeah.
is full of you whining and moaning about Bloodborne 2. Where's
gonna
my
get it.
Bloodborne 2? You give me this, but you don't get. No.
Yes.
For now on, every time that you say something about Bloodborne 2, I'm gonna be like, play the DLC.
Yeah.
You,
Well,
you
but-
fake
and
fan.
that's a beautiful thing, Asa. Now this is how also my brain works. There's always more Bloodborne that I can get to. That's
But
how
you
legit-
never
But you
will.
never will. How long has it been, Joe?
And that's the beautiful thing.
It is.
That-
Oh my god.
That's the beautiful thing. It's like, hey, you know what? I may never get the Bloodborne 2, but at least there's something in the
Listen,
horizon.
I'm
And
going to tell you something.
And it's not a joke. That's just how my dumb, idiotic brain
No.
goes. All right,
I'm
I'll-
going to tell you right now, it
What?
is dumb. And you want to know why it's stupid?
Why?
I've got voicemails on my phone that I leave on there, and I purposely don't listen as reminders to call people back.
Same.
I had one on there that was from like 4 years ago. And my wife said, if you don't listen to it, delete it because you're never going to call them back. So I Sony ponied up. I didn't even listen to it. I deleted. I immediately called back. If
Yeah.
you're not going to do it, this is a piss or get off the pot.
You know
Not-
what?
That's something. No, you don't have anything to look forward to.
Right.
Because it's done and gone. Play it, move on. If you want something to look forward to, play it again.
I have. I played.
Because you're never getting two.
You
I've-
platinum
I've-
Elden Ring twice, and your
and I've
DLC,
beaten-
your DLC your whole thing
and
on
I'm about to break
DLC.
it, and I'm
You
about to
played
break it.
Burning Shores this year. That's DLC.
I did. And,
So what's the point?
Because there's weird exceptions to the
Oh
rule.
my god!
your god?
If real talk,
room listeners, is this your king? Dethrone him.
if I didn't have to cover it on the trophy room, there was a good chance I probably wouldn't play Burning Shores.
You're,
Just because I just don't mess with DLC.
What's that red
Well, thankfully,
poster behind you?
What's that?
What's that red poster behind you?
yeah.
Bloodborne right there.
Mhm.
Right
Can
there.
you text me your address just for no reason?
Okay.
I'm not
I
going to break
trust
into
you.
your house and rip it off the wall.
Yeah, I trust
And then get a Sharpie and write fake fan.
oh god, I love it. I love it so
Is
much.
this what gatekeeping feels like? I love it. You should
It
do
feels so
more
good.
often. Yeah, no, we need a Bloodborne remaster. It sold over 3 million units in a year. Some people don't think that's a big number. In 2016, 3 million units on one console. Think about that for a second. Street Fighter 6, the 6th iteration, out on multiple consoles. It just crossed. They just announced 2 million units sold in 2023.
Hey Joe,
Mhm.
question for you. Next year when we get the Elden Ring DLC, you gonna play it or are you gonna wait on it? You platinumed it twice. Oh, okay, cool. So
Okay.
you'll play that DLC, but not from one of your favorite games ever.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because listen, that's the only hope. It's like, hey, listen, they'll always be a new Bloodborne. Here's the thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary pals, we found the hole in Joe's armor. We found it. Never
Mhm.
forget this moment, and we got to remember it for eternity.
You know what? I'm gonna play it during the break now.
No, you're not.
And now you're gonna ruin it. You're gonna ruin it for me. Because now I'm
No,
like, oh, there's nothing left. You know?
Sure there is. Play it again.
You
It's like
played
the
the
oil
base game
baron.
a million times.
It's like the oil baron character I made 15 minutes ago. Once there's no more oil in Nevada, he's gonna be out of cash.
God.
He's gonna get his comeuppance, and I don't like that.
No more come
All right,
up.
last
All right,
question.
our last question is from Ghetto Berry 13. Hey guys, hope you had a great holiday last week. My question this week is geared more towards what you been playing. I see Joe has been playing Metal Gear Solid on the Portal, no less. Metal Gear Solid is one of my favorite games. It really set the benchmark for what games can do, both in terms of cinematic story and tactical espionage. The codex on back of the actual gameplay case, the player 2 port, the key cards, and let's not forget getting the wolves to pee on your cardboard box to become part of their pact. That Hideo Kojima is a gaming genius. So Joe, who's your favorite character? Why is it Solid? Why is it Sniper Wolf? What are your favorite parts of this game, and do you think it still stands as one of the greatest even today? Would you play the rest of the Metal Gear Solid games? As always, keep up the good work, and whose footprints are these? Also, side note, have you seen this controller? Not quite my cup of tea. PG tips are more my bag, but if it were Dr. Pepper, mine would already be in the post. What branded controller would you guys like? Love you. And they put a Yorkshire Tea branded DualSense, which is wild.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And that
I'd buy
last
that.
sentence was so British.
Yeah.
It made me proud we won that war, you know. Ooh-wee. Yorkshire tea controllers. Give me a Coca-Cola controller.
Mine's Mountain Dew. Give me a Mountain Dew controller. Nice neon
again,
green.
Dude, if it was see-through,
Yeah, dude.
See through. Now you're talking my
Yeah.
jam.
come on, let's go. As for Metal Gear, I have not gotten far enough because
Okay.
again, the first level, select, I can't hit it.
Mm.
What do you mean the
Literally-
first level?
The first level, it's like press select to go up the elevator, and I'm pressing the digital touchpad, and it's not. And I'm like, okay, well maybe like there's a setting I could switch it, like, or like there's a controller layout that'll show me where the select quote unquote button is.
Yeah.
Nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
It's weird. It's strange, and I don't like it.
Hey, so you're a big Metal Gear fan, though. I've not
I'm a
played
big
any.
Metal Gear fan.
Yeah. So for a question for you, who's your favorite
Yeah.
character? Is it Solid?
From the first
From the first one, yeah.
Ooh. You know what? I might have to say Otacon
Mm.
purely because of when he pees his pants and he's like, this reminds me of my anime girl. But no. Probably Gray Fox because he's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Solid Snake is dope too. But Meryl,
Meryl's.
I mean, the DARPA chief, the
Mhm.
whole game is so good. And I mean, Twin Snakes is the best version of it. But
I mean,
that's just me.
I only know I know some of the characters. I played a little bit of it. I've never gone through it completely, so I'm
Mhm.
excited to have this collection for me to finally sink
Yeah.
my teeth into it.
Yeah,
But-
I would definitely say play the original of the first one, and then I would recommend playing Twin Snakes on the GameCube. I don't know how you do that without
Sure.
a GameCube.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like piss and moan about that one because of, a lot of like the snake is flipping off of missiles and
Mhm.
there's just like all this like talking about anime. There's just like all this like obscene action versus the original's like very grounded and everything like that. But then you get Metal Gear Solid 4 and Vamp and Raiden are doing the same stuff. Like
Uh-huh.
it just takes what happens in later games and puts it in the
Yeah.
first one.
Do you think if Metal Gear, was it Guns of the Patriots came out, that's the one where you're actually
That's
playing
4.
as? Oh, sorry. Oh, the Sons of Liberty, right? Or Guns of
Sons
Liberty.
of
That's the
Liberty.
second one, yeah.
That's the second
Sorry,
one.
that's what I meant. Sorry, everybody yelling, "Oh, you're on PlayStation!" That like if that one came out today,
Mhm.
would that upset people? Like, would that game like be beloved as it is, or would it be like a Last Jedi of like, you deceived me? I thought I was gonna play as Snake.
I think that a little bit of both. I mean, you could see the fanatics getting upset, but it also kind of reminds me of Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You play as Joel through Last of Us 1, you play 2, you play as Ellie.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, you're playing as someone else, and you do play as Snake. It's a very short amount of time, but then Pliskin is with you for the entire game for the most part. I mean, like sorry, I'm not trying to spoil things because you should play it.
It is like a 30+ year old. It's fine.
It's my least favorite out of all of them. I'll say that.
Mhm.
But there's some people that it's their absolute favorite, and I don't get that. But I mean,
I feel like if the game came out in the 90s, we don't get to like complain about. Like, I know what happens in Final Fantasy VII. Like, I know the basis of Sons of
Yeah.
Liberty. Like, it's like, and I'm still playing them. I'm still very excited. So like to that, I'm like, you gotta settle down. It's the 90s.
It's the same era where they're upset at the end of Halo 2 where you don't finish the game playing as Master Chief, and it's the same era where a new Zelda game comes out and it's a cell shaded little
Skyward
boy
Sword.
and it's not like a you know what I mean, like it's Wind Waker.
Mhm.
And those ended up being some of the greatest games in those franchises.
Fair.
So it's like so it's different. Get over
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't worry,
Well,
Dewani.
listen-
We're not going to spoil anything from Last of Us 2.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
People know you play
like,
as Ellie. That's fine.
Yeah. That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. If I feel like if a game came out in the last 5 years, maybe we You like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
story stuff, no.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not.
if it came out in the 90s,
No spoilers.
Yeah, no.
spoilers.
if it came out in the 90s, I feel like you're safe to say like things. You know what I mean?
Can I turn you all onto something real quick? I realize we're at the end of the show,
yeah,
so I'm just kind of like bullshitting here.
No,
right
go
now.
for it.
As a PlayStation podcast, and you got PlayStation fans, let me show you something real quick.
Okay. He's walking out, right?
This is one of my favorite artists. I got to finish my basement.
Ooh,
But so he takes old like PlayStation games.
that's amazing.
And he turns them into these like old style comics, and you can get them in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, you've got Bloodborne, you've got Last of Us, and
those are
Sekiro. Yeah, so highly recommend. I can
That's awesome.
just hit me up, and I'll send you his link.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's literally Metal Gear. It's literally a Snake Eater, but
that
looks like an old Captain America Golden
Right.
Age comic. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So good.
Well, listen, y'all. That's been the trophy room this week, and gosh darn, I had a great time.
I had a
Asa,
fantastic time.
right? This is fantastic.
I would say have me back, but you're so problematic. I don't know if that's a good idea.
When Joe's out, Asa, I'll have you back.
I'm kidding.
maybe.
I love you, Joseph.
No, I get it.
I will happily come back.
All right, good. Hey, where can they find you, bud?
You can find me personally at @GreenRiver07 on Twitter and TikTok, or X, whatever you want to call it. It's still Twitter to me.
Yep.
And then you can find my content, which is slowly making its comeback. YouTube.com/Borderline Entertainment, Twitch.tv/Borderline Entertainment. And in fact, I'm trying to revitalize. I've got an episode that's coming out tomorrow that I recorded Saturday night after Survivor Series, but I was too tired to edit and put it up. But yeah, I'll put it up tomorrow. It's called The Wrap Up. I just take everything that's happening in entertainment news, just the stuff that doesn't matter to our world, and give it some silly rankings for the week. And sometimes it's live, and this week it's going to be live on Saturday. So you can follow me on Twitter to see exactly what time. So then you and we can converse about these topics, and you can tell me why I'm wrong for the way I rank things. Yeah, so those are the best places to find my content. And if you want to find me, like I said, @GreenRiver07 on Twitter and TikTok. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
There you go. Hey, Kyle, what would you like to spotlight this week, my friend?
Myself, Mr. K-Step, pretty much everywhere. You can follow all the indie game coverage stuff that I do at 61indie. That's SIXONEINDIE, pretty much everywhere. You might see Ace on there pretty soon. He's going to come join us over there, talk about indies. Yeah, we love you very much. Thank you for all the Spotify shout outs of seeing us on your rap thing. It's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate you all so very much for taking time out of your day to listen to my big dumb mouth talk about things that I love. It's wild.
It's pretty wild when I see people go like, yeah, like you're on my top 5, you're my top 3, you're my number 1 podcast. Holy crap, does that just make my heart sing? Just to see, again, like us alongside so many other like great PlayStation shows, and seeing us like sometimes above them. I'm like, whoa, are you kidding me? This is again grateful and humbled. It just doesn't even. I mean, words can't even come out of my mouth right now. Thank you so much. And if you have like those, if you have your Spotify Wrapped list, please share us out. If we're on that list, share us out. At PS Trophy Room on platform X. When you say it like that, it kind of is redeemable. On Twitter,
does sound good.
Yeah, it does sound good.
I'll even
like maybe he had a point.
Oh no! I'll even further what Joe says. Just do that, even if we're not on your list. Do it for those creators, because it made our days, great. It'll make them feel the same way. So do that for everybody. Show people that you love what they do. It's important.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. With all that said, you can follow me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. You can follow the show over at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. Make sure you take part in the Platties 2023. Link in the description below. Vote on what you think is the game of the year, the definitive game of the year that is the best year in games 2023. Vote on your favorite indie where actual indies are in part of that category. That's pretty important. There's no broad term. It's independent studio, and we got a whole bunch of them there. So with that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, make sure you follow us at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody keep hunting and keep playing. PlayStation. See y'all.
Bye. Love you. Okay, we are off.
And Asa